What's happening, YouTube? Hey, how y'all doing? Appreciate y'all joining us. Let's jump into the conversation. Don't be shy, be bold, get involved. I'm going to let the people join in here. This is Sunday dinner. We're going to have some great conversations centered around the Black community from the Black perspective and how we can handle and control our own issues and control our own future. So I'm going to invite our group in. We're going to have a conversation over here on Zoom. If you're not tagged in or tapped into the Sunday Dinner Network, I advise you to do so here, Urban Intellectuals. Check your email. You can get down with us. I would love for you to come on live and engage us. What's happening, Brother David? You on YouTube today. I'm about to let the people in and start the discussion here in just a second. All right, all right. Hey, everybody. Appreciate y'all joining us today. Welcome to Sunday Dinner. Let me set this so I don't have to check that. Enable waiting room. Bam. All right. So we should be good on the entries. What's happening, Brother Deshaun? I see you in the building here today, my man. All right. Appreciate you joining us. Hey, Mark. I see Polly, CM, Mildred, Karen. All right. Appreciate y'all joining us. Dorothy, let me know where you're watching from so you can drop it down in the comments. Hey, Roxana. Hello, hello. Appreciate you being here. Let me know where you're watching from in the comments, and give me a one if this is your first time for Sunday dinner. Give me a two or more if you've been here a number of times. Either way, I definitely appreciate y'all joining us and coming into the discussion. We got a big one today, right? What up, though? Detroit? Yeah, we got a big one today, right? We're talking about AI coming for the Black community, right? AI is coming whether the Black community is ready or not. So I think we're going to have a really good discussion about that today. Hopefully, guys, I want to share some resources with you so that we can advance our future together and we can do well in preparing for our future, right? There's a lot coming, whether again we're ready or not for this thing. So we're going to talk a bit about that. I'm definitely going to open up the microphones, right? So everybody can have an opportunity to chime in and be heard. Don't be shy. If this is your first time, come on in. We don't bite. Uh, Not too bad anyway, but we'd like to have a good time here at Sunday Dinner, right? I am going to open up with my opening videos to give you give our new people an idea of what they have exactly signed up for, right? So let me get that together over here. Let me know if you have any questions for me in the comments. I'm always open to that. What else do I need to mention? All right, a couple of more things coming, but let me get through this with the opening share. I like to share this. This is our theme song here, Urban Intellectuals. I think it does a good job of giving an overview of the company and give you the right energy.
Urban intellectuals.
Open your eyes.
Urban intellectuals. Yeah. Check. In a world that's unjust, I'm screaming, we love us. Equipped with knowledge, we are dangerous. In a world that's unjust, I'm screaming, we love us. Equipped with knowledge, we are dangerous. Yo, you got the power in the palm of your hands. I mean, literally, 52 flashcards, all about Black history. They focus on success and less about misery. Information is the missing piece. Are you familiar with Black Wall Street or the Haitian Revolution? How about Angela Davis or Huey Newton? Mark Dean helped create IBM. Richard Wright was a poet. Have you ever heard of him? Get familiar with your culture. Women like Evelyn Granville probably paid the way for Oprah. Trying to be fly like Miss Bessie Coleman or like James Baldwin. I could be a spokesman. Man, the power of the Black fist. What you know about the '68 Olympics? Dick Gregory, yeah, he kept it realer than most. Dr. King was instilling the hope. Let's keep it going.
Open your eyes.
Let's keep it going. That's definitely the mantra of Urban Intellectuals around here. But everything was this company started 9 years ago, right? We're going on our 10th year in business. Hey, yay, us. December will be 10 years in business. And I just realized that's a good intro. Let me drop. We got a $19 offer for our Black History flashcards. The team, y'all know, Grandma and the team be on me about actually sharing the things that we do around here at Urban Intellectuals. But there's a great deal going on right now, so I want to make sure that I went ahead and dropped that link. Oh, I didn't mean to play that again. Sorry about that. I want to get into my official welcome and introduction to Sunday dinner. So let me play around the table. And then we'll welcome to Sunday dinner. It's that time again where we all gather around the table. I know Grandma would have started cooking earlier in the day. She might have already been telling us, come on in, baby, and grab a plate and make yourself at home. But today, instead of a physical meal, we're feasting on connection. We're feasting on conversation. We're feasting on the kind of community dialogue that nourishes the soul. We got important topics to tackle, insights to share, and perspectives of uplift. So let's dive in. Just like we would if we were sitting around Grandma's table talking about the things that matter to us most, our families, our community. Let's settle in and let's get started with the conversation. Now, typically, like I said, Grandma would have food nourishing the soul, right? Nourishing the stomach, nourishing the belly. But we're going to have conversation that nourishes the community, that nourishes the spirit, and nourishes and links us forward. I'm looking forward to having this discussion. By the way, my name is Freddie Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. I'm looking forward to engaging you at Sunday dinner, where the cousins gather around and enjoy the presence of Grandma and Grandpapa's in the back. You already know it's both of their houses. But the family is coming together to have important conversations, community, and connection that's going to bring us together so that we can work together to move forward in the future. If you think about AM talk radio, when it was call in, an opportunity to commune and to have your voice heard, this is what we're doing here at Sunday dinner. So the cousins are gathered around the table at Grandma's table in Papa's house, and we are going to have these discussions. You're going to call in, you're going to raise your hand, you're going to be part of the discussion. That's what's happening. Get ready, grab your plate. Let's dive in to Sunday dinner. Get ready, grab your plate. Let's dive into Sunday dinner. All right, so thank you everybody for being here. Y'all, give me a me in the comments if you actually remember going to Grandma's house, right? Give me a us in the comments if y'all still do this. Is this still a thing in the community? My grandma has passed along. So give me a me in the comments if you remember. Give me a us in the comments if y'all are keeping it going, keeping the tradition going. I definitely remember. Yeah, this is definitely a great tradition in the family, right? So if we're not doing this, let's try to pick up the pieces and continue this tradition, right? I think we definitely need it. I think the family needs to come together more often. We talk about that inside of our legacy conversations. But that's what we're trying to recreate here at Sunday dinner, right? I know it's just virtual. You're not getting the actual food, right? Unless you're cooking, right? You can definitely eat along while we are enjoying the conversation here today. But, you might have to take a break and go get some actual food. But today, right, the serving of the day, the conversation of the day is really centered around the rise of artificial intelligence. Is the Black community ready for this moment, right? I live with Grandma. I definitely remember. I love that. In the comments, so we can have some fun, right, while we're going through this. What's your favorite dish when you used to go to Grandma's house? Maybe she made it, maybe somebody else made it. But what was the favorite dish of your favorite dish, right? Not necessarily the family's favorite dish, because the family enjoyed candy yams, and that was not my thing back then. Today, Brother Freddie will smash some of those candy yams. But I'm a macaroni guy. I think Grandma really made me a macaroni guy, so I couldn't wait for that. By the way, my name is Freddie Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. Black history and empowerment is what we do as a company, and we've been doing that for 9 years now, right? We first incorporated in December of 2015, and we have been at this for a minute, right? So doing our thing. All right, let me see what I got here. Chicken and dumplings, collard greens, Grandma's sweet potato pie, right? Oh, yeah, I gotta love sweet potato pie. Fried chicken, got two for the collard greens. All right, y'all related? Is that y'all related? Let me look at y'all names now. Jamaican, so got goat curry and rice peas for me. Oh, I love that. So good, right? So y'all remember the foods. Who can recreate it, How many of you are cooks that can recreate grandma's specialties that you love? Give me a me in the comments if you can. We might get not me. Right? Okay, we got a me in there. All right, I love it. I love it. That's good. So all the me's, y'all make sure y'all invite me over for actual Sunday dinner. I love to break bread and eat too. Apparently, I'm a foodie. I didn't really realize that, but yes, I am a foodie. All right, so I want to transition a little bit into this AI conversation. Um, so hopefully y'all got all the emails. You see a couple of the questions that we're gonna go through. But is the Black community ready? What are your thoughts? I want to go ahead and open up the mic maybe to a couple of hands. I'm gonna try a new format, right? Not necessarily a new format, but I'll be introducing questions and then trying to move along the discussion maybe to the next question. So we'll see. So go ahead and raise your Zoom hand if you want to chime in on the question, right? Is the Black community ready? Are we ready for AI and its impact? Or what do you think the impact is going to be, right? Are we fearful? Are we leaning into it? Like where exactly are our feelings around AI? Are we afraid? That's even a better question. Are we afraid? Are we concerned? Are we not even paying attention and busy worried about where them fans at, right? All right, y'all know y'all seeing that sweeping the nation, right? It seems like at least the nation, where them fans at the I seen uh this meme or video or something that said while the world is falling apart, black folks, meanwhile, here go black folks, right? It's showing all the different line dances that we got going on right now. All right, Dr. Anita, hey, good to see you, sister. What say you today?
Well, what I want to say is it depends on the generation, is what I'm observing.
Mm.
My children, that I don't know what the name is called, Gen Zers maybe, they're like 25 to 30 years old. They're on fire for AI. I mean, my son-in-law just asked me last night, like, Medea, what's the AI I can use to create some PowerPoint presentations? I'm like, dude, you asking the wrong one, but I will do some research and let you know because I'm not afraid of it. I use it every day in my classroom. I pop up that projector and I show them. I said, Dr. Lewis is not creating this because there's too many of them to do. And I'll show them. I put in the prompt and let it pop up and say, this is how I work smarter and not harder. And the kids look at me like, excuse me? I was like, yeah, I'm not crazy. I work smart, not hard. And so
Okay.
I noticed that my children are doing the same thing in their web content development, in their creating their lesson plans and creating their presentations for their business presentations. They're using it effectively and asking me questions. So I'm trying to stay on top of it too. I pretty much only use it right now for document creation and things like that. But I'm interested in a lot of the other things too. I signed up for Alicia's class, but I won't be able to do it until I have more free time. It's a self-paced course, so I'm looking forward to pacing myself through it and becoming more proficient in AI. But I think it really is determined by where they are. But I really think that 25 to 35-year-olds, that they're looking to see how they can use it to work smarter and not harder.
Yeah, I love that. What was we nobody's joining the conversation. They're afraid of us right now. Y'all warming up. Don't be afraid. Raise your Zoom hand, jump into the conversation. But Doc, because I know I had like a little piece in here, at least on my side notes, that I was going to talk about teaching or what are like what's your teacher level again? What grade students do you teach?
I teach middle school and college. I'm a college
Oh,
professor and
okay.
I teach middle school. Yeah.
Okay, well, what are some of the like how do we get them more involved or interested in AI?
I'm of a different mindset than some other teachers. I don't mind my students using it.
Oh, you
Oh
like,
no, because
uh-oh.
they have to ask the right
There's a teacher in
questions.
here who head spun around when
I
you.
know, like she's pulling exactly. They have to right, they have to ask the right questions to get the right answers. And so if they know how to ask the right questions, then that's part of the learning right there. And so I need them to be able to, when they're conducting their research and things like that, if they ask the right questions, they get the right answers. But then my students have to go back and fact check it. So they have to then find 3 resources that support it. And one of the things I've taught them is don't just focus on what AI gave you, go down to the references. I always teach them go to the references and look at their references, look at their sources and so forth, because that's where the bias comes in at and things like that. So they have to use 3 unbiased resources when they're doing it. I teach everything from social studies to empowerment and everything. So I do allow my students to use it. I actually encourage them to use it because that's the way of the future. And I'm not going to put my head in the sand and say that when they get home, they're not doing it. So this way I can at least see what they're doing and coach them through effective use of it and not just to cheat.
Right.
Because it's like they can't pass it off as their own. The questions I ask are very individualized. So they can use Chat GPT and Copilot and things like that to get their information, but then they have to then synthesize it and personalize it to turn it into me. So that's just a good starting point for them. So I allow my students to use it.
Okay, I love it. I love it. Thank you for the insight. I'm always curious as to what our teachers, even though in the back room, the teacher groups, they gonna get you. I kid, right? I don't think we can run from it, right? I don't think that running from it is definitely not gonna save us. So I like it that you're engaging the children with it. Hey, Mr. Howe, John, come on into the discussion, young man. What say you, sir?
All right, how y'all doing? Good seeing you today, young man.
You as well.
All right, couple things. I took Elisa's class. It was one of the most fantastic things I ever did. And I was so impressed. I had to go talk to my kids. In fact, 2 of them run their own businesses and my grandkids about it because I was so enthusiastic. And so now the kids are using it with their businesses that helps them write proposals and all this other kinds of stuff. Grandkids said they're using it in middle school and elementary school.
I love it.
They were showing me the things that they were doing. But what I found out in my case, because I'm retired, but I'm a meditation teacher, it's worked wonders in my ability to write proposals, okay? But also what it allows me to do is customize my meditation classes for particular individuals and groups
Okay.
that I couldn't do before. And and it does it in a matter of minutes. So
No,
I think it's fabulous.
So you're loving it. You're loving it on like how it can expand like what you're teaching and engaging, right?
Right. And it allows me to do things that I normally couldn't do before. I can have stuff that's written for adults and say, okay, convert this so it appeals to a 6-year-old little girl.
Right.
And in a matter of minutes, it will rewrite it so a 6-year-old little girl can understand it.
Right. Yeah. It's amazing when you lean into it, right?
Yeah.
I love that. I love that you took the course and like you're using it and you're diving in. It's like it's so practical, right? Thank you for that, good brother. I know you can circle back, of course. You jump in and have more. I dropped the link down in the comments if you're interested in what they're talking about. We're working with Alicia Little, the queen of AI, right? To help you with everyday AI, integrating this into your life, into your business, into your thought process. She showed you a lot of practical use cases all the way down to an appliance or something in the house breaking down to taking a picture of it and using AI in order to solve the issue. It's wild. I dropped the link to our free Everyday AI Summit. It's going to happen on April the 22nd. You can click that link and see more. All right, Althea, come on into the discussion, young lady.
Hi, my name is Althea Hooks. I run a bookkeeping business, and I at first was not on with AI. Like I was being a bookkeeper, how am I letting the computer or something like that, take care of people's books? But what I learned, working for QuickBooks full time, they started using AI. but I still wasn't sold. I still was nervous. I'm like, I gotta do this myself. But I joined the mastermind TSP when I joined there, and everybody's talking about AI, and everybody's in business, and being in that community is what made me start using AI. And now using AI has freed up so much time for me. And so I think with the mindsets, meaning that if I was a little leery about it, it's mindset for one of you joining in the new, what's going on in new, or you're going to be left behind. Speaking with my son, he was like, Mom, you got to get up to, you got to get up to speed, because if not, I really don't want you left behind. And how are we going to be able to help our grandchildren? If you have grandchildren, if you're not up to speed to where they are, because it was already before, kind of before AI, you wasn't understanding the math and how they do the math and
Right.
things like that, and it's because we're not up to speed to where they are. So in order for us as grandparents, as being younger, I'm 50, to help my grandkids, I have to stay up to speed so that I can be able to help them understand things. So I have to keep myself, make sure I'm getting the knowledge and staying up to speed with the now. So I think AI, they're fearful, but a lot of people are not understanding how much time it's gonna alleviate, because I was feeling overwhelmed, and it's really like I got my own board of directors. I'm in Alicia's class and things like that. You gotta stop wanting to do things the old way and embrace the new. And so it just opened my mind up a lot to not only in my business, but for my grandkids, for my children to be able, when they talk to me, or my grandkids, I need to be able to understand what they're saying and not take offense to it, because they're living in a whole different world. And it is totally different from how we came up and how our grandparents taught us. Like, our grandparents didn't teach us like this. And so we have to adapt to their learning as well. They learn different. So these things, they're more technology than we were back now. So what we have to do is take the technology and be able to cultivate it in a good way with them, and be on their level to be able to help them be successful.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that because it's not going back. I mean, we're being nostalgic with Sunday dinner, talking about grandma, but those days are long gone, right? The horse and buggy, lost to the car, the automobile. It ain't gonna go back. And then when we start thinking about the young people, I'm thinking about my oldest. He was born in '99. He don't know a world without the internet, right? And the children that are younger than him don't know the world without social media, without complete utter access to everything. They are dealing with a rapidly changing environment, right? So hopefully they're leaning into it. But I love it that you're saying, like, I need to lean into it so I can engage with them and assist them, right? That's really what we want. And you and the mastermind family, so you better get up to
Better
speed.
get it together. You better get it together. But it motivates you and pushes you, but it also gives you a sense of comfort to believe in it, to help, like others are doing it. This is what they're doing because I'm visual. So it helps me seeing everybody else rising. I mean, what you gonna do? You're gonna stay sitting in your seat, or are you gonna move?
Yeah.
That's sometimes that's what we need. We need a push, but we need to be able to actually see someone actually doing it. But if you never come into a community and you never connect, network, learn new things, you're gonna be behind. And there's a lot of people will be behind because their mindset is not there.
Yeah. No, that's real. That's real. And I love it. I love it because I know the experience, right? You're like out in the entrepreneurial desert, you're all alone, and then you get into this community of folks, and you're like, oh, there's a lot of lush green trees and fruits and water. This is wonderful over here, right? Like, oh, I should be doing this. Oh, that is fruitful. Like, it's good. I think who you around, you encircle yourself around matters, right? So I love that.
Yes,
Thank you.
that Sunday dinner, that mastermind is my Sunday dinner. It's my collard greens and macaroni and cheese and that good tasting to help me grow because grandma's fed us because they wanted us to be healthy and do and be successful. So that's what it does. So if you really think about things like that, a lot of times it can motivate you too to push forward.
I love that. I love that.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
sister. Thank you. Thank you. And always circle back and put that hand back up. So we always appreciate that. Yeah, that Sunday dinner, that environment, right? That's what I'm trying to create around here to have this environment of growth amongst our community members, right? I know a lot of times during the week, stuff happens, we get frustrated, we're complaining about a lot of things. But in this space, I want to make sure that we're addressing things, but then also bringing solutions and opportunities to the table as well. Brother Deshaun, what say you, good sir?
Hey, what's going on, brother? You all right?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. So you stole my thunder. But hey, I'm with you. AI is here. It's here and it's here to stay. Talk about nostalgia, and how the world was before the internet. I mean, I remember when the internet came out. I was in college and I didn't know what it was. And AI, this is the chance for us to actually go back and dive head first in the internet, learn about it, and kind of make money off of it. We got that chance now with AI. That's kind of how I look at it. And so I actually used it. I started diving in since Mastermind. I dived in and I kind of played around with it, but now I've been into it and it's worked so well for me. I'm gonna tell you a quick story where I successfully failed. So I had an interview, right? It was a high level interview, and a day before the interview, they sent me a scenario. They gave me this huge scenario about the complications of the organization, delays, poor collaboration. They said they wanted me to write a 6 to 12 month strategic plan, a memo to the superintendent about the strategic plan, then prepare a slide deck for a presentation to give to the stakeholders. And they sent this a day before the interview. And that was done purposefully to see how I react in a, high tense, situation. So what I did was went right to Chat GPT, loaded everything. Man, it was done so fast. I mean, everything, PowerPoint, the memo, strategic plan. I'm like, this is nothing. So I briefly scanned over it. So turned everything in, did the interview, did fine. Then they paused and said, okay, we want you to go through your strategic plan. I said, oh, I thought I was just turning that in. So we put it up on the screen. And it was like, can you walk us through? I said, yeah, we both gonna be reading this together. So I'm reading through with them. And it was a great plan, but it was done so efficiently. Like I wasn't prepared for how well it did. I'm sitting there just reading and just kind of struggling through. Then flipped over to the presentation and realized it was a couple minor mishaps on the presentation because I didn't do it. But it was done so fast that if I had a little bit more time, it would have been A1. So that was something for me to just realize like this is a powerful, powerful tool. And if it did this, imagine how much more simpler it could make my life in every other way. So I'm trying to dive head in, man.
Yeah, no, I love that you brought up the work example, right? Because a lot of times we talk about like entrepreneurship and you can use it to make so much money, which is great, right? And I want you to use that too. But like everybody don't want to be an entrepreneur, right? Somebody's trying to climb through their professional career. They're trying to get to that next rung, that next payday. But this is a practical way that you can use in the work example, right? So I know if you could go back, you probably would have did that earlier in the day and then spent a couple of hours, an hour or two at least going through it and looking at it. But that's just a perfect, not to mention like you could have used it to tighten up your resume, right? Could have used it for scenario testing, right? Like asking yourself questions like what holes do you see in the business, right? Like right there inside of the technology. And as a business owner, I'm sure you can attest. I want people that can think. Can you solve the damn problem? I don't really care if you just knew it in your head or you went to Google and found the answer. Can you get to the bottom line? And I think that's where we get tripped up in the Black community when it comes to this stuff. What do you think about that?
Yeah. It felt like cheating, but like you said, it's about getting to the solution in different ways, being creative. everybody doesn't need to think the same. Everybody doesn't need to go to college to be rich and successful. You don't have to be a certain way. It's about how you arrive to the conclusion and who has the best solution. Like you said, if I got a team of people, I just want the answer. I want the best answer. I don't care how you got there. And if you made it more efficient, we're going to adopt that philosophy. And that example I gave you, now I'm using Chat GPT way more in my current job now, making things easier for me. So in adopting a lot of those things that I learned, through my successful failure, to make my life easier, better, more efficient, and it's making everybody better. So yeah, man, I'm learning and I'm loving it. That's it.
Yeah. I love that, brother. I appreciate you. I ain't gonna keep you on the spot. I'll keep going with you. But definitely, you can definitely come back in. But I think it's a really exciting time, and I love that. One, you made me think about during the last summit that we did with at least, was that the summit? Man, I had so many AI conversations, y'all. I can't even remember where it came from. But yeah, it's Alicia. So it might have been this interview I did with her before the summit, but she talked about having an AI first policy in her business. So every employee is under the directive that when you get a task, the first thing you should do is ask yourself, how can AI help me with this task? Right. And like that is a company-wide initiative that she runs. I mentioned it to a couple other people in the mastermind. We were like, man, that's a great idea. So guess what? At Urban Intellectuals, we are a AI first company, right? You get a task, you get a project. How can AI help me with this, right? Because look, if you're capable and you can do something and it takes you an hour to do it, right? As a business owner, I'm paying you for that hour, whether you get it done or not, whether you get it fast or slow or whatever it is. But imagine you could use AI and get it done in 5 minutes. As a business owner, do what? I'm looking to get the problem done to solve effectively, of course, in the best way possible. But I also want some efficiency. I don't want you wasting 55 minutes if it could have been done in 5 if you adapted an AI implementation, right? And we spend enough money on AI software each month so that our team can have access to this stuff. I don't think AI is really here to replace us. I don't, man. I don't think at this level, at this moment in time, AI is here to replace us. I don't know about this, this agentic AI is like the next phase, and then like this robotic AI is like coming. I saw some stuff I'm gonna share with y'all in a minute. Like all I could think was, whoa, like is the thing is, it's getting so real so fast, so quickly. Like 3 months ago was like 3 years ago in this space, y'all. Like this is how rapidly that things are changing. But I want to share a little piece of a video of Alicia, right? Oh, and I dropped the link to those of you like people keep referring to the AI class and all of this stuff, right? So there's a free summit that we're doing on April the 22nd with Sister Alicia. It's free. You can click the link and sign up right there. But then also out of that, she has a course. It goes a little bit deeper. Again, we put this together to try to help our community together. But I know the sister makes it really easy to absorb and get the information. But I'm gonna play a little bit of this interview, and I'll link the full interview on in the comments as well. This is just on our YouTube page, so you can definitely go and check it out, the full thing there. It's 45 minutes, but I'm just going to play a snippet here just to give you a little bit more of the possibilities before we open up the mic again and jump back into the discussion. So take a
sense. I promise you, I've been using ChatGPT every day, every 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I feel like it every day since. And then we had a digital marketing agency. We represented clients, insurance, mostly financial sector, insurance companies, banks. And we pivoted. We went from being a marketing company to really being an AI company. And then we went all in We have a new company name now. It's AI Innovision, and we do training, upskilling, because I'm so passionate about it, because it is so transformative. I tell you, when you really look at how you can leverage, and that's the key word. I'm going to say it again. Leverage AI to your advantage. It's transformational in every way, whether it's your personal life. I use it in my personal life every day, whether it's your career, whether you're a business owner and it is in your business. And then I shout it from the rooftops that for our community, for the Black community, Black and Brown community, like, we need to make sure that we do not get left behind. So, as you know, a big thing that I do is always making sure that I'm teaching this in our community as often as possible at every opportunity that I get, because I feel like, and I'm going to throw in the Caribbean community as well, because, I've got to represent for Jamaica, but I feel like we get left behind so often, especially when it comes to technology and innovation, and trending things. And we have some fear wrapped around it, that we really need to say, you know what? How can I go all in on AI? And how can I make sure that I'm AI competent? And this is important because companies are laying off employees who are not AI competent. Intuit announced last year they're laying off 1,800 people who are not AI competent to hire 1,800 who are. AT&T said the same thing for 1,100 employees. Every place that I teach and train at that's upskilling their employees said they will only hire new hires that have AI competencies. So I just presented at Morehouse yesterday to the faculty, because I'm saying, look, our students need to graduate with AI skills so that they can either excel in grad school or they can get top paying offers in the jobs that they're going to take on. So I could talk forever. Sorry, Freddie, for that.
No,
That's the
no,
short
no.
answer to your question.
No, this was gold. Look, I'm over here taking notes. This is gold. This is exactly what we needed to hear, because I think you nailed it with the fear, right? Inside of our
Yeah,
communities, right? All of them, the Black, the Brown, the Caribbean community, really globally, it seems like we are, no, historically, we're always behind the tech.
right,
We're always behind. We're late to get in it. We're not benefiting from it. But you making it so tangible and real with AI competencies, because everyone's not an entrepreneur, and people are
right.
working their way through the career path, but this is impacting everyone.
Everyone, every industry, every career, every business. And we've only just started. Imagine, we've only just started.
Yeah, and then I love the fact that you're layering it with the schools, right? And the
Yeah,
disappointment that they're not preparing the children, the young adults, properly for the workforce of the future. That's always been a concern in our community. Do you think there's going to be some headway on that, or how can a parent, grandparent, concerned student,
right.
kind of get the how can they subsidize this information for themselves? How can they do that?
Right. Well, parents need to learn and start teaching their kids. So that's the first thing. My sister Lorette, her nieces are using, my nieces, so her kids, 5-year-old and 11-year-old are using AI all the time. So they're really growing up now, integrating AI into their study habits, into their fun. Not that they weren't using it before with Alexa and, Siri and those type of things and their games that they play, but now on a different way. So my 11-year-old niece is saying, how can I use AI to supplement the fact that I don't have a tutor at home? So how can I, if I don't have a tutor at home, how can I use AI as my tutor so that I can get the grades that I want and I can study better and be more efficient? So it's about really seeing, as parents, you want your kids to get ahead and to thrive in an AI driven world. Like, turn on the TV. Look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn put out this month, January 7th, they put out their top 25 jobs report. Everybody waits for this. right? What are the top jobs? Last year, an AI consultant, which is what I am, was number 8 on the list, and an AI engineer might have been number 6 or something like that. But this year, number 1 is an AI engineer. Number 2 is an AI consultant. Number 8 is an AI researcher. I'm like, come on, AI is on the list. And as you look and you see as a parent that every job that's out there on Indeed and Monster.com wants to know what AI skills you're coming to the table with. So you know that as a parent and as a grandparent, you need to be paying attention to this to supplement maybe what the school isn't teaching them, or recommend to the school that they do bring in an AI consultant to teach the faculty, to teach the staff. I love what Morehouse did. They brought me in to teach the administration first. And then after we taught the administration, we taught the faculty. And now we're going to dive deeper to keep training the faculty so that they can teach the students, right? And so, and we're doing Clark Atlanta. We've taught at Clark Atlanta a few times. So I'm doing my part, what I can. And then I think that we just keep, spreading it out and spreading the message in our community that, hey, this is something that we have to do, and we have to do today, because we've got to take care of our own community, and we've got to empower and lift ourselves and our children and our community's children at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
You got to unmute yourself.
Thank you. Y'all know I be doing too much over here, but she could definitely go. She's definitely passionate about this information and getting it out to the community. All right, just see when people are signing up. Definitely join that. This is just a little clip, but this was a 45-minute interview. This is that interview. That's the link to the interview if you want to see the whole thing. AI in the Black community, a must-hear conversation with Alicia Little. Yeah, so that's a good warm-up to the AI summit that we're putting out there. I love that she talked about, hiring employees with AI competency, right? Like laying off 1,500 employees only to hire 1,500 employees that are AI competent. And that's the key, right? Because a lot of the conversation is, oh, it's taking our job, they're wiping our jobs away. No, people without this understanding are losing their jobs, right? It is like someone said in the comments earlier, AI is here. You can't unring this bell. It ain't going nowhere. And I just, man, like we're learning now the agentic AI movement. And like if this got you a little shook, wait till you see what this next step is. And this next step, we're talking about 3 to 6 months, y'all. I ain't talking about what's about to happen 6 years from now. So I don't know what the hell's gonna happen 6 years from now. I can't even. I think the futurists are probably asking AI like, where are we going at this point? But it's moving so rapidly. It is mind-boggling, right? It's exciting at the same time, and I love that Deshaun said it earlier, and Alicia referenced it as well. It's like going back 30 years in time, man, and the internet is about to drop. Right? It's 1995. I want y'all to know right now. It's 30 years ago. That's crazy. It's 30 years ago. It's 1995. 1995 is 30 years ago, right? I'm a college sophomore at that point, and I remember being in the student center like, man, have you heard of the internet? Like, I remember having that conversation, and literally people are having that conversation right now. Like, hey, have you heard of AI? Right. And like now it's a big thing. It might be 1997 now, right? Like, but still, nobody, I mean, what are they saying? Like less than like 5% of the world is like adopting to AI right now. So this is still way early on the curve. So I don't want us to get left behind, right? So I don't want you to bury your head in the sand. That ain't gonna do nothing for you. This is here, right? So we need to figure out how to invest in it, right? Our Sankofa Legacy members, we got a wonderful conversation coming up Wednesday evening for you, centered around investing, right? And stock market investing. So I want to continue to build on that. But one of the conversations I know is like, what companies are driving the AI sector? What companies are driving the agentic AI sector? What companies are behind this quantum computing movement that's going on under the surface of the waves of AI right now, right? That's kind of like the next wave that's coming after this. But if we don't start immersing ourselves in this information and immersing ourselves in this world, then we're going to lose out and miss a lot of the opportunities as well, right? So I just want to make sure that we're continuing to bring these conversations to the forefront for our community, so you can have a chance, right? You can't say nobody didn't tell you, right? Because I'm trying to make sure that we're dragging this front and center, right in front of you, right? Where else did I want to go with this? Oh, I wanted to show you I want to show you some of the uses or some of the things here. So let me bring this up. If somebody's got some thoughts or some comments, you can bring it up now. I'll pick back up Alicia here in a minute. Oh, hey, Erica, how you doing? Come on to the microphone. What say you, young lady?
Hello. Yeah, so I have been using AI. I learned about it on Clubhouse.
Okay.
And I'm probably one of the older people on Clubhouse at the time, in my 40s. And the young people were actually doing complete classes and workshops on. So I used it for my business, for business plan, for just a second. For my business plan, as well as I have a short-term rental company, and I was terrible at bookkeeping, still am, and I asked ChatGPT to create a guide, actually a complete lesson, a complete textbook to help me understand bookkeeping and the numbers and what chart of accounts I needed for my particular business. And so I've been using it for that, and also in education, for lesson planning, for taking an article and creating quizzes and all of those things. So I've been using it in a lot of different ways, creating a profile and all of those things. And I do look forward to learning how to teach our scholars, our children, how to use it. I'm a science teacher, so teaching our scholars how to use it in the well.
Wait a minute. I keep muting myself. We definitely have to, engage and teach it. And I see, yeah, we definitely have to learn how to use it, right? But here's the thing and y'all can let me know, like in the comments, like what are your fears? What are your concerns? What questions do you have? What holdbacks? I'm not an expert like Alicia. I definitely want to say on April 22nd, you want to show up and take advantage of getting in front of her and asking her questions directly. But I use it daily. I use it continuously. Like it's up all the time. It's up right now. To help formulate my questions and the things that I was going through with this today, right? I use it for everything. I was going to share a couple of other things, but let me let Janelle in. Oh, and when you come to the mic, please let me know if this is your first time or if you've been here before the Sunday dinner. I'm just always curious. So, hey, Janelle, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing okay. I guess I'm a regular now in Grandma's table. But I loved hearing the things that were said. I love what Miss Alethea said. I love what I think it was Mr. John said about the course. As soon as I saw that link, I immediately clicked on it while you were talking and signed up before it filled up, because I know that happens in these parts. But I just wanted to add my little 2 cents, because I really feel like what you're saying is extremely important, and that people need to understand it's not going anywhere, right? So I struggled with it a little bit, and I'm not somebody who's afraid of technology overall, but I struggled with using AI in general. But I got an iPhone for Mother's Day one year, and me and Siri became better friends than me and Cortana, or me and that old Google Assistant, which most of these kids probably will never know what Google Assistant is, because even that has a new name now. I don't know what it is, but I know it's something different. But I kind of forayed into that. I'm still not really into letting it in for household stuff, for Alexa and stuff, because I still know that all of this stuff is listening to us. If I'm sitting up here talking about tiny houses and I turn on the TV and all of a sudden every video is about tiny houses, and I've never watched a tiny house video.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that, they're using everything to listen to us, even though I think it was Amazon that got in trouble with that for the TVs, listening in on people's personal conversations and such. But even with all of that, knowing that it's out here, knowing that our kids are going to have to deal with it, the kids, the grandkids, all of the next generations are going to have to deal with it. I would rather see them in a position of being comfortable with it, knowing how to use it, and of course, using it to their advantage. Because if they get the chance to use it to their advantage, we already excel at everything we do, right? So can you imagine what AI and an extremely smart child, or a gifted child, just anybody who has the power to use it? Because I'm listening and I was like, ooh, an AI researcher. I know I'm in another stage of my life, but maybe that might not be such a bad thing. Let me look into this now. So I got to make sure I'm on the call for that summit, because I'm thinking, yeah, that seems like something that I might be interested in. But just to go to what Deshaun was talking about, I didn't use it for a job interview. I was on Nextdoor having a conversation, which those conversations get a little intense. I was talking to a neighbor about a post that I put up about the bus system here in Chicago and how it was a little inefficient, right? And people kind of attacked me for that. So I said, you know what? Before I put that up, I didn't really pay attention to what the steps would need to be. So I gave them the problem and asked for solutions, but people didn't want to provide solutions. They just wanted to attack me for saying that it wasn't working. So I went to ChatGPT and I said, look, here's the problem. We got 6 buses going to one spot and 0 buses going to the other spot. How do we fix this? How do we do this? And ChatGPT was like, boom, 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 boom. It thought of some things that I hadn't thought about. I was like, well, wait a minute. I might look a little smarter now. Let me keep clicking and let me keep doing all of this right now. I said, let me keep going and let me see what else it has to say. And some of the things that it came up with were actually really good suggestions. Now, whether or not people are ready for those suggestions because they rely upon efficiency and logic and other things, people might not always be ready for what it's doing, and it may take longer to implement just because we're people and we have emotions and we have feelings. We put all kinds of things in there that ChatGPT and AI overall just rules out. It's like, I don't care that you don't like that you have to go 4 blocks over. This is the most logical solution, and this is what makes sense, and you're wasting time doing this, that, and the other. So I think it also kind of makes us focus on the actual problem and solutions versus putting our emotions in it, which gets us back to a level of efficiency that can overall help us. It can't hurt us, right? It can't hurt us in that aspect. It can hurt us if we don't put the work behind it, like what Deshaun said, he threw it together real fast and he didn't check it over. Now, I'm not going to just throw it out there and not check it over. Like, I understand what he's saying. We've all been there, those overnighters and that type of thing. So I get that part of it. But in order for it to really work for us, we're going to have to put some effort into it. And again, Miss Alethea said it best. We can't expect for our kids to pick up on something and want to learn something that we ourselves aren't even embracing. And I love Ms. Little's talking about using it for the educational component, not to do your work for you, but to show you how to learn the work better yourself. Like that's a game changer, right? That is definitely a game changer. I don't need a tutor anymore. I got AI. So you know what? We don't have to pay. Mom and dad, you don't have to worry about paying $75 for a tutor. You already paid for my laptop and internet. I got my tutor. You know, it's all done. It's together. So, but that was just my few cents on the situation and the topic.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you for chiming in. I always appreciate you showing up. Grandma said you can get an extra piece of peach cobbler in the back. And she said, don't tell everybody though. Right. No, but I love that, right? Because that is like, how can we use it to better sharpen our skills? How can we use it to improve ourselves? Like you really can continue to do deeper dives into the information. I was gonna Man, it's like, y'all, I got to I ain't got my notebook out. That's the problem. That's what it is, right? Because I got y'all to say something, I have a thought, and then I didn't write it down. So I'm just going to keep going. But I wanted to share a little bit. I just show you a little bit of how um, I use the technology, right? Like I use it, y'all, like a lot. So a lot of the stuff, if you follow me on social, a lot of the stuff I'm using AI to either create it or do it, right? So y'all probably have seen this image here, right? So that is a simple AI image, right? That was done. Like it was super easy to do. Like when I say super easy, I'm talking about I uploaded this image and told it to make me a cartoon of this image, right? And had the words on there. I think there's a misspelling on the word. It ain't great on the words yet. But I'm learning now that if you have words on your t-shirt, if you spell it out for it, it'll get that correct, right? So that was pretty simple to do, right? But watch this. Let's take it to the next level because I learned a little bit more. And then now you can take that image and make it talk. What they now call family standing here at the Great Pyramids of Kemet, what they now call Egypt. This is more than just a tourist moment. This is a reclaiming of legacy. These monuments were built by our ancestors, not slaves, but scientists, engineers, and spiritual leaders. You know, every Black person needs to witness this greatness. Notice that it's spelled correctly now, right? Notice the animation. All of this was easy to do, y'all. And if any of you have been hanging around Sunday Dinner or Urban Intellectuals, you know I'm tech slow, right? The whole team is like, when I want to go in the back office of the website and do something, everybody be like, wait, what exactly do you need to do? Because like, we'll do it for you. Don't do it. So if I can do it, I'm telling you, this stuff is easy. And here's the thing. A lot of times we get caught up overthinking stuff. You can't break it. Right. So when you go into like when we first started learning about AI, this was like 2023, right? 2022, 2023. And like one of our coaches, right? One of our business coaches, right? Coach John was like, his whole mission was to try to figure out how to break it. Like, so he would go in there and ask like the wildest questions, create the craziest scenarios, do a lot of things rapidly, like asking, like he literally was trying to break it, right? And it got to the point where he realized it might time out from here to there. I don't know if y'all ever gotten to that point where you're asking too much, but you can't break it. You can't go wrong, right? So what I'm trying to do right now is free you from your anxiety centered around it. What if I do it wrong? What if it gives me this? What if you asking the wrong question? Just keep asking questions, right? Like you need to go deeper, right? So if you have an idea, you're like, hey, give me a scenario. I'm opening up Sunday Dinner, and I want a SEL, social emotional learning question engagement activity to open at the beginning. Like I could literally, all right, hold that thought. Somebody hold me to that. We just gonna do it on ChatGPT. I'm just gonna show you, right? It's so easy, right? But look, I wanted to show you because I'm not always serious, right? Y'all follow me on social, then you know I'm not always serious. I like to have fun. So inside of here, Oh, okay, wait a minute. Let me show you this real quick. So I made that, right? Y'all saw that. Oh, this is still that. Oh, I messed it up. Okay, 1 second. Hold on. Let me open my Facebook again. But I like to enjoy myself, right? So I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show he gonna kill me for this, but I don't care because this is one is too funny to me. Two, I want you to see like the possibilities here in this AI stuff. All right, let me get this back up. I'm a real troll on the internet, by the way. If we really good friends, I'll probably go troll you, right? So anyway, I made these other additions, right? So now here's that same picture, but now I'm down in Central America at the Olmec heads, right? Here I am at the lynching museum, right? And all I'm doing is just telling it to give me this image. Hey, take that cartoon image of Freddie and put him in front of the lynching museum in Alabama. I didn't describe anything for it, right? I didn't give it any other additional pictures. Put me out front of Kemet. Hey, put me in Nelson Mandela's cell down in South Africa, right? Like, put me at the door of no return, right? If I gave it images, it could do these things as well. But this stuff is like super simple to do, right? But look, watch this. So I took a picture of my buddy, Danny. Yeah, this is my best friend, right? I hope he ain't on here. Deshaun, you better not tell him either, right? So we went out to eat, right? Had some tacos and a couple of, margaritas or whatever. And he was talking, right? Talking trash. We're in a workout group. We talk a little trash to one another, right? They encourage each other. So I took this picture to share with the workout group. I was like, hey, he kind of eating a lot here, right? So why not take it to the next level, right? Right? Hey, if your friend know what he's doing, don't be messing with him because they can put you in some compromising situations. I started making cartoon skits about him, right? Eating his way through Detroit, right? The Adventures of Fat Daddy, right? Like so. Anyway, you don't gotta do nothing crazy like this. We can have some fun with it. But how about this? I started creating comic book strips centered around Black history, right? And again, these are simple prompts. I'm doing nothing special to create this. I had a little image of me. I'm looking different, right? Here's another one, right? Not necessarily with me, but just talking through the things. But all of this stuff is done inside of AI. Um, and it was real simple, right? Here's something else that we created, right? We're using that image for something else. So I was like, oh, let me just make something, right? We might be different, right? Um, I thought this was hilarious, right? I saw somebody make this on the internet, right? This whole Muppet thing has been going through. So now they're taking famous movie scenes and doing Muppet versions of them, right? So you can have some fun inside of it too, right? It can be practical, it can be useful, or it can be hilarious, right? I like to lean on hilarity. You know me, you know I think I'm funny, so but I absolutely destroyed him with those those cartoons, right? So now but they don't know how to do this, right? So they haven't been to the Everyday AI Summit. So hopefully y'all enjoy. Yeah, wait to exhale, right? Have a fruit bowl, right? That was crazy. This is one my children took one of me for my children's books. Oh, okay. Oh, I love that. Nice image, right? I don't know if y'all can see it. I think y'all can, right? But all of this stuff is really, really simple to do. That's some cute and some fun stuff to do. Um, but look, like she's making a children's book, right? Making a book, and now just creating AI-driven images for it, right? Let me share some more. Y'all, if y'all got any comments or questions, definitely feel free to raise your hand. Hey, Janelle, how you doing? Welcome back to the conversation. I don't know how to bring you up.
I did forget something. I forgot about the other little thing that came out this week that nobody has really focused a lot of attention on. So they were talking about the fact that Musk has bought the AI company now, and he's trying to do something that has never been done before. So because he owns Twitter, And Twitter is a live database of people working and doing things and communicating up to date, is to the second, that he's going to incorporate that data to try and make his AI products smarter. So people feel like that was his intent behind getting X all together, and that he was just waiting for the right moment to put that back. So people are a little concerned that that information is going to be used in a way that may or may not be flattering for people, because they didn't know that he was going to have this AI company, right? So I got rid of my X account, but that, I think, is the flip side of why people are a little concerned about AI. I don't know how to alleviate those concerns. I don't know if anybody else has something here for that. So maybe that's another good question to ask. How do you get people to come into the fold of feeling comfortable with AI so that we can help the next generation to do better than we did with the whole internet curve? Because that didn't work out so well.
Now that's a good thought. I I don't know. I say good luck. Because it's just like seriously though, like if you think about it, it's like saying, how do we stop people from using the internet nefariously? Right? You got to destroy the internet, right? Because some people are going to use it for good, some people are going to use it for bad, and there's going to be a whole lot of folks in between. Some folks operating in the gray area, and whatever the case may be. But I don't really know. That's a good question. But it's the same with automobiles, right? Like I just wonder like how it's the same with airplanes, right? Like somebody took an airplane and knocked buildings down with it, right? Like does that mean that we get rid of commercial flight? Right?
No.
Some people run folks down with a car, right? Some people drink and drive, right? Do we just get rid of it all? Like, I don't know if we can bubble wrap the world. I don't know where this AI thing is going. I'm about to scare the hell out of y'all. If you think you're scared now,
No. So I'm
hold
not
on.
scared, but maybe that's the answer though. Maybe the answer is that we look at it just like everything else that has come before, and that it will have a
Okay,
good and
I like
evil.
that.
So maybe, thank you, Freddie, you just answered that question without even meaning to.
Yeah, right, right. I was about to just go scare the hell out of you, right?
Look, no, look, you're not gonna scare me because I already have seen some of the things that AI has done, and I'm like, wow. So
I woke up this morning to this. It was like, oh shit, right? Like
yeah.
y'all don't tell grandma in the back. She don't tell her I curse. But oh shit, like that was wild. But let me show you this before I jump into that. Like I want y'all to really understand how simple and crazy and easy this stuff is to use. So take a quick, I'm gonna do maybe 60 seconds of this quick video. Sankofa files, the history they try to erase. They don't want you to know this, the black roots of modern science and medicine before Hippocrates. Before Newton, before white coats and Western labs, black civilizations were already experimenting, healing, calculating, and innovating. They built modern science off the backs of black bodies and minds, then erased our names and called it progress. Well, we're done playing dumb. This is our legacy, our genius, our receipts. One, ancient chemists, physicians were performing surgery before Europe knew what hygiene was. The Edwin Smith Papyrus, 1600 BCE. There's a couple of things. There's a couple of things to that video, right? Number one, I didn't write that script. That script was written using AI. Number two, all those images are AI driven, AI created. Number three, that voice you heard, it's not me. That is a replica of my voice that we use in different products and stuff like that, right? So everything you saw, heard, and felt in that video was not me. Even that music was AI generated, right? Like everything you just saw was created by an AI computer. And when I tell you all of that was simple, it's scary, right? So you can literally take an idea from you don't even gotta have a concept, right? You can go into AI and start a discussion and eventually come up with a concept. generate a business plan, a script, a layout, a plan of action, a logistical plan, whatever the case may be, how to best execute it, who to recruit, get estimated budgeting costs, like things of that. Like you can build it all out from your phone, let alone from your computer. Like all of this stuff is literally at our fingertips. And there is even AI software that would have put all of that together. But the problem is there's like no Black and African influence in it. So when I'm talking about the conversations that we have, it doesn't have the imagery already written up and created. So what I did was I just hired somebody to create those AI images that you saw and just put it together. I sent them my voice, I sent them my script, and then they created the images and put everything together for me, right? But we're gonna continue to build on that theory, on that thought, and just continue to run with it, right? But all of this stuff is relatively simple, not even relatively. It is simple to do and to create. Any thoughts or questions on that? I want to show you this next. I want to scare the hell out of you really quick. I don't know if it's scare you or is this going to make you excited, right? I guess it kind of depends on the person that you are.
What you're seeing is a breakthrough in
But
AI physics. It's
don't
called
pay attention to that. Hold on. Let me share this screen again. Take a listen to this, right? And I posted this today again, not to really scare people. I just want you to see where things are going. And then, of course, I linked our AI Summit, our Everyday AI Summit, so that you can see. I want you to see where things are going so that you can make sure that you get involved with it now. But check this out. This is just a really quick little reel that I found, came through my feed.
AI physics. It's called Genesis. That water droplet, it's AI generated, but it behaves exactly like it would in the.
You got to see it.
Is a breakthrough in AI physics. It's called Genesis. That water droplet, it's AI generated, but it behaves exactly like it would in the real world. The forces, the physics, it's all real and controllable. But that little droplet, that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is what happens when you use Genesis to train robots. And this blew my mind. Think of Genesis like a video game. So you could teach a robot character how to backflip in the virtual world, and then because the physics are real in the game, you could download that backflip skill to the same robot in the real world. And that's what's crazy about this. Genesis is so powerful, it could train a robot from virtual to real in 26 seconds, literally printing new skills by the hour. And you can see where this is going. Virtual chores become real chores. This is like Tony Stark upgrading his Iron Man suit in real time. Now, the reason AI generated movement typically looks off is because real world physics is super hard to replicate. Well, it took 2 years across 20 research teams, but they finally cracked it. And Genesis is open source for anyone to use. Let the simulation begin. What you're seeing is a breakthrough in AI physics. It's called.
What are your thoughts
totally
on that,
pissed off with.
You're capable of doing so much better than.
Like I was telling you, this thing is moving. This train is moving quickly, y'all. Like now that right there kind of shook me up, right? Because you've seen like the little dog human things, and they're like bouncing on one leg and they're doing one thing. But to train something in on your computer and then it starts flipping and actually doing what you're training is really, really interesting to me. And I saw somebody talking about the diversity bias. Yeah, and that's because we are not involved in this conversation, right? Like I said, I don't know if we too involved in where them fans at or what the hell is going on, but like the world is moving at a crazy pace right now. And I'm just wondering, are we paying attention? Do we give a damn? Do we care? And I'm just trying to sound a little alarm, right? I ain't trying, I'm really sounding the alarm on we're going to have to get involved in this or just continue to get ran over again. Now, I saw Dr. John Hope Bryant, I think that's his name. He was talking about, the tariffs have dropped and all of this madness is going on in the economy and the country and the political environment and all of this, craziness that's happening. And he said, he was talking about the Black community and he said, well, it's hard to fall from the floor. right? So he talked about how we've been used to doing so much with so little for so long. This is just going to be another bump in the road for us. But I'm just wondering how much longer we want to be on the floor. Like I don't want to be on the floor in the first damn place. But so I'm wondering like when are we going to start to move forward in that respect, right? But here's another industry, another worldwide revolution that's happening at our fingertips, and you see the Japanese are involved, the Chinese are involved, India is involved, right? You see Europe is involved. We see at least the Silicon Valley here in America. I don't think everyday average Americans are really paying attention to this across the board. And I don't think it's just a Black community thing. I think a lot of us are asleep. I think a lot of us are overwhelmed. I think a lot of us are afraid, don't really understand the practical applications of how you can use this, right? No, not those that are concerned about things of this nature. And we had conversations like this all over. Yeah, Courtney. I mean, if I could peel back the layer, you could come into my world. Like this is all we talk about. Like there's nothing. It's almost like nothing else going on. So I get it, but and I heard a couple of our mastermind members were in the same mastermind together, talking. But when you're in those bubbles, it's hard to realize that you're in a bubble. And I'm not like an overly social person. Like I'm not outside, right? Like I ain't going to the local event or anything like that. I engage a lot online, and that means I really get to curate the spaces and the conversations that I'm at. And like if I go somewhere in the real world, I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going either, to Africa, I'm going to a conference, like I'm going to something probably within inside of my bubble. But it's like whenever I end up outside of the bubble and I hear what people are talking about, it's like, oh, y'all ain't got a clue on what's going on around here, right? So I don't know. I know I'm a bit insulated to things. And Courtney, I was just thinking like, maybe you might be experiencing what I'm experiencing. We might be in our bubbles. So I'm really not talking individually, right? I'm really talking collectively as a people, right? Because of course, collectively as a people, we all ain't broke, right? Like, but the stats show that if we don't do something drastic by the year 2052, I believe it is, the collective income of the Black community is going to be zero, right? So, but that don't mean everybody is broke, right? That just means as a group, we're not doing something. We need to improve financially. I'll say that. Come on, Courtney, join the conversation.
Okay, so what excuse me, I'm not feeling that good today, but I'm hopeful because like I feel the younger kids, they look at what we've done and they like, y'all took too long, y'all too patient, right? And so when it comes to things like being on top of the oh Lord, the technology and all that kind of stuff is inherent to them, right? Like I said, they're native to the technology era. I'm an immigrant. And so I'm hopeful because I see them doing things like Lene Bonet and her whole ilk, the young power truth speakers, speaking truth to power. She's outstanding. And so I have hope, but they're also like that bull in a china shop. They don't they don't have respect as much for what's been done before them because they feel like it was ineffective and it took too long and y'all put up with too much. And since like when they did all the riots and everything in Minnesota and they got all these different results, they're empowered and thinking like, yeah, this is how we do it. But they don't have a no gas option. And so I just wonder how that's going to work when we talk about being there for them. What about them being there for us? Because I'm, being a teacher of middle school students, and they just see things differently.
They do. Are that concerns you?
Well, yeah, to a degree, because now, yeah, I don't have my own child. So yeah, it does concern me. Just like when you want to get things accomplished, and yeah, you don't have a regard for rules per se, and you think, I'm gonna do it this way, and I can be assertive, I can be intelligent, I can be an urban intellectual and still, you know, walk around with half my ass out and my coochie showing, and it's okay. You know, I can do both. And so I'm just like, okay. Yeah, yeah. I'm torn by that because of the whole Felicia Rashad thing and the backlash that I saw some women that I respected like indescribable. And her perspective and how her backlash was like how she was gonna come for Felicia. I was like, what? Like, where is the you know the respect for the elders and what's come before you and bringing that, you know, like, we got y'all, grandma or auntie, we got y'all, we got this. But you know, the total kind of, it seems at times, a disregard for all that's been done to get them to this point. Yeah, it does concern me a little bit, but I do have hope because they are interested in it, because it's a part of who they are, right? Where I have to learn and have to seek understanding and figure out how to make things move. It's coming like this to them. It's like, okay, move out the way. You taking too long, you know, the eye-hand coordination with the games and all that kind of stuff is just second nature to them, or first nature, actually.
Yeah.
So I'm hopeful, but I still remain concerned.
Good. Thank you for the comment. Man, I can feel you. I think we should be concerned, but I think that conversation about, I could still have my ass out, and I battle. One, it's a lack of respect for the elders. I think like that is a issue in our community, just period, right? Because if that's the vibe, if that's how the community is run, if that's how the men and women show up, showing respect to their elders and demanding it from the young people around them, then you kind of you rebuild your social norms, right? Much easier said than done, particularly in my internet tower, just talking, right? And then like at the same token, right, me as an individual, I battle with respectability politics because I think we're crippled by that bullshit, by worrying about what some extremist is gonna think because, you know, you might get excited and raise your voice, or you might get excited and curse, or like the new right-wing narrative is Jasmine Crockett is street and too ghetto. And I hear a lot of black folks saying, yeah, I think she really goes over the top and she blows our message. Like, what? Like, anyway, I don't want to dive off.
Yeah, that's interesting because she still brings with facts and she still carries herself. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, I don't.
It's ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's one. I mean, the narrative that she's too street and whatever the hell that means is ridiculous. But just I hear black folks saying, well, she could deliver it a better, right? It's the respectability politics. I don't know. I like her delivery. I'm like, sis, go all the way over and go in on their ass. I love it. So but I guess everybody's different. I guess that's kind of like where we're going. But your ass out, you showing things like where's the line? Like but I think that's a community thing that we got to kind of get a handle on again. And Tawana, I like your conversation about there should be a nationwide program to where the class or event about AI that includes all generations, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, for the community. That's our responsibility, right? Like if the school system is supposed to be putting out the information that really we want, because this is the conversation. Now, we just had this conversation about the Department of Education being wiped out and, folks upset and this and that. And I hear a lot of people saying, well, local control of the education is already there. The Department of Ed don't break down the local control. It don't matter. You got control over that. Okay. Well, I'm not arguing for or against the Department of Education. I don't really care. What I'm interested in is that, okay, this fact that we got local control over the education. All right, we need to seize that opportunity and then to start to demand that the curriculum changes. So if there's local control, then why can't you talk about Black history? If there's local control, then why can't we demand the incorporation of AI technology into the classrooms? Where are we just being negligent? Is that the thing? I don't know, y'all. All right. And educators and administrators, don't come for me. Educate me. Y'all be gentle with me now. I'm sensitive, but but I don't know. But I'm curious, right? It's like the internet is a wild place because when you say anything, folks will just jump down your throat, right? Like, I'm gonna say this here. I asked a question about Cory Booker's marathon talk, right? I called it a rant. They jumped in and they got on me because if you say a rant, then that's already showing your bias. All right, well, shit, a talk. It wasn't a filibuster. You can't say that. He wasn't filibustering anything. There wasn't a vote to be made. So what the hell do I call it? An inspirational speech? What do you want me to say? Right? Okay, but I'm trying to ask a question about what's next. That ain't the damn solution. I don't care how much you liked it. I don't care whose record he broke, which that was dope that he broke Strom Thurmond's record. Okay, fuck Strom Thurmond. But what's next? They jumped on me for asking the damn question. They said, this is why black men need to be quiet. Now, I'm going to say it because I erased my comment the other day. But this is why black men need to be quiet. If you ain't part of the solution, then you part of the problem. And a brother inboxed me on the side and he said, man, brother, I can't even believe that the sisters came at you like that because you cheerlead for black women more than anybody I know. But the one time that I might have said something that's outside of whatever this ideological agreement is, they just cast me to the side like I'm a damn enemy, right? And all because I asked a question. All I did was ask a question, right? If you follow me online, I ask a lot of questions, right? And sometimes I'm being a butt. Sometimes I'm messing with folks. But all the time, I'm trying to get people to engage in the conversation because out of those questions, sometimes people have really poignant responses and insight that everybody don't know. It's almost like, it ain't even almost. If you don't agree with me, you're shit. That's the mentality online. Nobody can just be off. No one can be corrected. So like now I'm starting to use my language. I'm trying to be more deliberate with my language, right? So it's like, hey, this is how I see things. I could be off. Be gentle with me, educate me. I'm okay with learning. I don't believe that my position is necessarily the right position or the best position. This is what I'm thinking right now. Let's hold a dialogue, right? So I'm trying to be reasonable. We'll see how this goes, right? But y'all also know I got another side. I'll go left on you and get to talking too crazy. But I just, online, it's just really interesting online how we engage with one another and how we move forward. All right, I said a lot. I wanted to let Miss Alicia back in here so we can refocus because I'm all over the place. I'm getting out there. Okay, let me follow up on these questions. They're just too comfortable with her. Just thought, okay, I like that. That was sad. Nipsey Hussle was doing that in the Crenshaw community. Yeah. What Nipsey was doing was fantastic. We definitely need to pick up and run with that. But also, I think what we're missing with what Nipsey was doing, it reminds me of Wallow and Gilly and Wallow, something like that. But they are going back and talking to that forgotten generation. They're like Nipsey was in the hood talking to the gangbangers, right? And the folks that didn't think they had a way out, and he's giving them alternatives, but he's talking to them like people, not talking at them. He's talking with them and not talking down on them or down at them, right? We got too many of us, and I'm putting myself in there. I'm gonna use my thumbs here. Being in I ain't got an ivory tower. I got an internet tower though. Being in our internet tower and shouting things out as if that's supposed to change the world when you need to get down, get boots on the ground. Where them fans at? Them boots on the ground. And I can't help it. I like the song, y'all. All right. I ain't doing the dance, but I like the song. But get them boots on the ground and really engaging with them one-on-one, right? So I love that. And this is our opportunity, right? Maybe AI is a driver that we can use to start building those relationships with the next generation. I love Jasmine Crockett. You got to know both worlds, right? She is beautiful, unique, amazing, and melody. Yeah. Credentialed. You know what I mean? Like she got more credentials than damn near anybody that we keep hearing from, right? So it's like it's wild that they keep talking about this crazy narrative, but that just lets you know the power of the media, right? To skew public opinion and thought. Um, oh man, we just all over the place today because I made a comment because I see a lot of my friends posting a lot of these facts and this and but these people just don't understand. You're not about the fact people to agree with you. As crazy as that sounds, I think in this social media driven era where facts have become ambiguous and somehow there's alternative facts and nothing is like right or wrong, you just drop in more facts ain't the way to bridge the divide, right? That's my I guess that's my political commentary for a lot of y'all to chill out, man, because we are stressed the hell out over all of this. Whoever said that is dumb. I love that. Thank you for that. People lose the solution because of the way the message is perceived. It is definitely a bias. People do not know how to communicate effectively and agree to disagree. Oh man, that's like a very maturing sentiment that a lot of us haven't mastered. You asked a lot of questions to where I had to create a folder for you. Yeah, yeah. I asked a lot of provocative questions. I am a philosopher, right? I like to think, and I think it's the lost art, right? I like that quote that says, damn, what is the quote? You better think now because it isn't illegal yet, right? It feels like it's coming. I'm watching The Handmaid's Tale right now, y'all, and boy, we might be living in these days. Unfortunately, people of color have been waiting for a leader since '68. Yeah, we don't need a leader. We need work boots on the ground. I like that. So she is ghetto. What is Mac? Yeah. Interesting. All right. So y'all, yeah, y'all are there. Y'all, all right. Thank you for that free flowing chain of thought. Y'all gave me space for there, right there. Hey, Yvonne, come on in. Did we spark something in you? What say you, young lady? Oh, I'm sorry. I muted you. There you go.
Hello, hi family. Welcome to dinner.
Yeah.
Um, you've been sparked something in me, and I have been like overwhelmed with AI. I've been taking all kind of classes, different things, learning things about it. I am excited about it for sure.
Excellent.
Um, and just to give you a little background, I do end user software training.
Okay.
And I started with DOS
Mm-hmm.
and Word Perfect. For example, I held on to Word Perfect as long as I could because Microsoft Word was just too dumbed down for me.
Right.
So I embraced this change, and it is just amazing the possibilities that are available with AI.
Yeah.
First, I'd like to say, I think to Janelle, was it that was talking about um, J Muse, uh, his AI. I believe he is calling his X AI. That's the
Mhm.
one he's going to be using with Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of the things I think about is when Microsoft changed to Edge and put their AI, we had no input, no control or anything. When Google brought up all those books and other things that they brought up and developed the Google search, we really had no input. AI has taken off. It's been around for what, 2 or 3 decades, really, and it has just advanced. And we have limited input as a people. So I know some of the information is available online. I have to dig further. But my thoughts shoot to, who owns the copyright of this? And according to what the Copyright Office published, I think, first in their NOI in 2023 is, they're still up in the air. So it hasn't been decided yet. So we as a community need to make sure especially in light of our current status in the US and all of T. Rump's crazy ideas, that we own our stuff. And we need to be training AI on our stuff. But I believe we also need to own that stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm sure that's for those that have a lot more experience than I do. But I think collectively, and as we begin to develop, we need to first make sure we own it. And then we can break down and continue to do national things and make sure it's incorporated in education. It's a technology, but you can use it in soft skills and all kind of things.
All kind of things. Yes.
But as a great grandmom now,
Hey.
I think and I remember the switch with metric for my own child. We need to be involved, and those children that we have, we need to make sure that they're involved for their children. But
Yes.
we need to establish that our history and our truths are set forth in AI, that we provide the narrative, not someone else that stole books and all of the kind of stuff writing his story. But you're absolutely right. This is going to take off. And I once have said our only limitations are those that we imposed on our mind ourselves.
I love it.
That's
Okay.
that's my contribution.
I love it. Was this your first time, or how many times have you been to Sunday dinner?
So many times I think I gained 50 pounds.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you. I appreciate you
Two
showing up.
weeks, 2 weeks ago, I told you that I had to be rolled away from the table, and
Yes.
I wanted I wanted two sweet potato
Sweet
pies to
potato
go.
pies. Yeah. I remember. I remember. I'm gonna get better with all my names, but definitely appreciate y'all enjoying the discussion and showing up for the conversations. But I mean, there's a lot going on with this stuff. But there are definitely practical opportunities and uses. I want to take this moment to just play a little bit more of that interview with Alicia, because I know she just lines up a lot of these conversations very well. And I dropped the, oh, wait, how many of you have already signed up for the AI Summit, right? You can put me in the comments. Give me in the comments if you've either signed up for this one or if you were at the last one or whatnot. But yeah, I definitely want to make sure that y'all get an opportunity to don't miss this, right? I don't want you to miss it. It's gonna be a wonderful conversation. If you haven't gotten that from the little bit that I've shared of Alicia, but I think you're going to really enjoy it, right? The last one that we did, she really brought the house down. She always brings the house down every time. I'm trying to get the hours. I want to make sure I get the right hours. I was about to tell y'all something, and then I realized I want to say it's 3 hours. Why is it? I'm not seeing the times on there. Is anybody here from the team that know the actual time? I don't see the time on this landing page. Uh-oh, I gotta send the email. Oh, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 hours. All right, so it'll be 2 hours. I know that when it starts at 7. All right, I got my me's in there. All right, I was at the last one. I started testing tutorials on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I love that. Yeah, hey, when you get this information, I want y'all to make sure that you dive in and absolutely use it. I'm gonna put that link down here one more time for you to go ahead and sign up. Hey, Olivia on YouTube, I see you. All right, you signed up. Great, I love it. I love it. My people have signed up. Let me give you a little bit more of the queen of AI herself, and let me know what your thoughts are about this piece here. I think because right, that I love the conversation about flipping
Yeah,
it, right? Because we've already been primed on the horrors of AI or where it can go with all these movies and things that got us these fantastical things that's got us racing in our minds. But I love the idea of not going down that rabbit hole, but going down the rabbit hole of opportunities. Because the
that's
truth
right.
of the matter is, this is not going anywhere.
Right, right.
Right?
It's
It's
not going
not going anywhere.
anywhere. No.
It's only going to get more and it's only going to get stronger and stronger, better and better. I love the phrase, today is the worst you're ever going to see it,
Yeah,
right?
it
Because it's
is.
just
It is.
improving so
It is.
rapidly. So I love this forward future thinking. Like, okay, Black community, let's lean into this thing and figure out how can we use it. Give me some, how do you use it in your personal life? Like, let's
Whoa.
just talk a little bit like
Where should we start?
that.
So yesterday, okay, good example. Yesterday, my front door it's one of those smart lock systems, and I kept getting the notice on my phone that the battery was critically low. So I was like, all right, I have to pay attention to it. So I took a picture of it and I told ChatGPT, how do I recharge the battery in this smart system, right? ChatGPT came back and said, you have a quick set system. You need to screw off the back, get the screwdriver. The 4 screws will be on this side. So I took it off. And then now I'm looking at it and I was like, don't see a battery pack. So I took a picture on the inside and I said, do I need to screw off something else? And ChatGPT said, no. See the tab at the top? Pull it. I felt like I had a locksmith there right with me telling me exactly what to do. I saved time, I save money. I didn't have to hire anybody, which is something I normally would have done, is hired somebody to come do it. And then I did it, boom, boom, put the batteries in, put it back in. And I had to go say thank you to ChatGPT because I was like, thank you for your help. And it's just like small things like that. Earlier this week, I was in Orlando presenting, and I was with a bunch of friends. They passed me the menu, the wine list. I'm not good at wine. I was like, I don't know what wines are what. Now, Jamaican rum is a different story. But the wines, I was like, I don't know what this is. So while they're all looking to the side, I took a picture of the list and I asked ChatGPT, what's a good sparkling wine on this menu? And it told me what it was. And so when it came around for me to order, I was like, I'll just take and I sounded so good and smart. And I felt good about myself because I didn't have to ask anybody or the waitress, like, which one is a sparkling wine? What does that taste like? Whatever, ChatGPT tells me. So, and when I tell you I have ChatGPT in my pocket, I do. I have it in my pocket. Not just ChatGPT, I use other tools as well. Depends on what I'm doing. But just in everyday life, it comes in so handy. I've also used it this week in doing time translation. I was talking to someone who speaks Spanish, and I do not speak Spanish well enough to have a conversation that we were trying to have. So you can open up ChatGPT, and in the advanced voice mode, I told ChatGPT to act like a translator. So get this ready. I said, ChatGPT, I'm trying to have a conversation with someone who only speaks Spanish and I only speak English. So whatever I say in English, translate it to Spanish. Whatever she says in Spanish, translate it to English so that we can have a conversation together. And it did exactly that.
What?
And so we had a whole conversation with me just holding up the phone with ChatGPT. And so you think about efficiencies, communication, the different levels you can get at. Those are some personal examples.
Wow. That's incredible. I didn't know it was working like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just beautiful. I think it's interesting being around somebody that uses it regularly. Recently we were in London. I was with Lamar and just watching him use it forever. I mean, literally, he said he be using it for everything, but it's like everything. So I totally get it
Everything.
now. In fact, I just used it real quick because you mentioned Jamaican rum, and I was like, we were in London drinking Ray and Nephew. That's what
Right. 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 Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah. That's interesting. I think
Announcement. Shenyan, the world-class performer.
that's a good place to break for that one. Did I unmute? Yeah, I did unmute. right, it's a good place to break for that one. But yeah, so I love that she put in like that everyday usage, right? Like how you can use, and this is just one tool, right? I want you to know, literally, there are hundreds of tools that are available right now. Of course, you're not going to go through all of them at the AI Summit, but you'll have an opportunity to dive a bit deeper into a few of them and to learn a bit more as well. I talked about that conversation. Well, I mentioned in the conversation anyway. I had to think. I'm going to something, but I had to think about where exactly was it. Did it close? There we go. What is going on? Y'all see, I told y'all, I told you, be a technology. It's like we got a beautiful love-hate relationship going on, right? I love it to death, but man, does it frustrate me at times. But I talked about being in London, right? And recently I was just in Ethiopia, right? So I was in Ethiopia for our Sankofa experiences, right? So if you're new to Urban Intellectuals, we don't just talk Black history and culture. We don't just teach it on the internet. We actually take people on what we call Sankofa experiences. So we take them to Africa and beyond, learning more about the Black and African diaspora, the African diaspora throughout the world. And while in Ethiopia, I'm on ChatGPT, right? Like I'm literally there learning more about the places that we are at. Of course, we got our guides and tour guides and things like that of that nature asking us stuff. But anytime I wanted a deeper question, I had a deeper question, or maybe I didn't have the guide's attention at the moment, I'm over there Googling or actually ChatGPT and stuff, looking like the future of Google. I don't know. They're going to have to, up their game as far as Claude, but I don't think people are going to be Googling like they used to as much, because now you can just turn to the AI that is reading this information for you. And with this agency, chat agent thing going out with software like Manus, right? Like I've just been dabbling around in that. But I mentioned being in London. I mentioned being in Ethiopia. I wanted to share a quick overview of the Sankofa experiences. Anybody want to travel with us, right? If you're interested in traveling with us, then this little segment here is for you. Take a look at this.
You know that feeling when your soul recognizes a place. I never understood it until my trip to Ghana with Sankofa experiences. Standing on the shores of Cape Coast, something in me just clicked, like my DNA remembered what my mind never knew. These aren't typical vacations. They're journeys back to ourselves. When you walk through those ancient doorways in Egypt or feel the rhythm of drums in Ghana, you start to piece together parts of you that were scattered by histories. And I've traveled to lots of places, but nothing hits like Africa. The way people welcome you, the food that somehow tastes familiar, the land that feels like it's been waiting for you. Like I came back different, more grounded, more whole, like I'd found pieces of myself I didn't even know were missing.
So that is our Sankofa experiences. If you haven't been on a trip to the continent with us, definitely show up this Thursday, or if you haven't been to a trip with the African diaspora with us yet, show up this Thursday. We are talking about that, our program for taking people on these experiences. But this particular session is about going to Brazil, right? Brazil has actually, what is it? Almost three, no, one, two, yeah, almost four times. No, yeah. What are we, 45 million Africans in America, right? Brazil has 135 million Africans, Afro-Brazilians, right? So we'll be going there this year. That is late September. We are going to Brazil for the first time to have one of these Sankofa experiences. If you're interested in traveling to Brazil on a history expedition, make sure you come on Thursday and hang out with us 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be there talking you through that program. but we also go to 10 African countries right now. And if you are interested, you can definitely go there as well, Sankofa Experiences, and check out our travel calendar. There we go. I don't got the link up. I'm gonna make sure I get that in there. But that is if you just want to see all of our destinations. Brazil is the first time that we're going, and that is actually that's early September, September 1st through the 10th. And then we're going to Nigeria later in September for the first time as well. So we're going to be having those expeditions, right? But yeah, I wanted to make sure I slid that in there while I was talking about London and whatnot. But what did you think about Alicia's usage of AI around the home, right? So that's something that's super practical for everyone. If you're having a question or having a need, I know I was trying to fix our washing machine, right? Our dryer, right? Now I told you I don't have no tech skills. I got less manual labor skills than I got tech skills, but thanks to ChatGPT, right? I was definitely very handy at the moment. Never mind the fact I ended up just buying a new dryer anyway. But I gave it a go, and it was definitely because of that opportunity. That was better than YouTube for the battery. Yeah, I mean, YouTube is definitely, still in there, right? That's definitely a champ. I use Alexa. Oh, uh-oh. Stop. I knew, once you say that name, boy, I should have said the A word or something. But once you say her name, she is definitely gonna speak up. Yeah, but that is definitely what that product is, right? Is definitely an AI product. And in fact, I think they got like a new version coming out because this is coming to everything that we are involved in, right? There's going to be wearable materials. I don't know if y'all seen, there's like this necklace now that records everything you say and listens to every conversation that you're in, and it's transcribing it so that later you can reference any thought or idea that you had. Now, I don't know if it's like on indefinitely or do you like touch it and turn it on or something like that, but like stuff like this is coming at a rapid rate. And I think that we should just be finding more opportunities and ways to engage it and embrace it ourselves. What are your thoughts on any of that? And I know who told me they couldn't raise their hand. So you can bring the conversation back. Good brother, I saw you in there. Oh, we've been talking. Jarvis, you want to come on back to the mic? Come on and jump in here. Yeah, I still cannot. AI home monitoring. Yeah, I mean, if you got a telephone, I think that you're being listened to. I think ever since what was it, 9/11 and all of that, the Patriot Act and all that, I think during that episode, I think we gave up autonomy. I think we gave up Big Brother not listening into us. I am, but she too much. Hey, she be in it. Yeah, I think like that was the time. Are y'all watching Handmaid's Tale? I'm only in the first season, so like don't jump in and like say too much. But it's like, man, as I'm starting to just piece things together, I think I just finished episode 6 or 7. Um, I'm starting to understand what it is about, but it's talking about those laws that were passed during crisis, things that happen during a crisis, and the laws that get pushed through, and the rights that we give up as citizens. It's really interesting. So I don't know if how or where AI plays into that, but I'm pretty certain that we've been given up the right to not be listened to in during that time frame. That's my thought anyway. All right. Was it Jarvis? Come on into the discussion, Jarvis. I know you said one of your thoughts had passed, but you could jump back in, brother. Is he still there? All right. All right. So anybody else, what thoughts do you have around the conversation? So true. I explained the major difference with me. WP gave. Oh, y'all, y'all still missing word perfect. There in the comments reminiscing over good old fashioned word perfect that they thought was better than Microsoft Word. And I made the comment, at least in there, about I guess that goes to show that the best product doesn't always win, right? Like just because you have something better doesn't really mean that it gets adopted by the wider society. Is the group going to arrive a couple of days early for the upcoming Senegal trip? You can if you like to, Calanda, but on the first day, I mean, our team will be there on the ground already ready to receive you. But sometimes people like to travel there a day or two early or stay a day or two late. Either way, it's fine. You just have to arrange for the extra days at the hotel. But sometimes to get used to that jet lag, to get used to the change of environment and the time zone. So coming in a day or two early is never a terrible idea. Definitely when you want to maximize that trip. I'll be there a couple of days early just in case. Yeah, so just communicate that with the Sankofa Experiences team, like let Ashley know and all of that. And then if you want like to get the guide or get somebody for an extra day or go on an excursion or something like that, you can arrange that as well. Or you can talk to the hotel directly. That when you stay at the hotel, work with them and work with one of their drivers. Say, hey, I noticed I was on AI, right? I went around, I noticed around the corner there was an authentic Senegalese restaurant that I wanted to go to. They'll definitely help facilitate that for you. I had the earphones that translate different languages. That's crazy. I can't wait to see those. Languages using AI. I took it to the nail parlor to find out what they were saying. It wasn't too clear, and I had to keep tapping the AI on my phone to try and understand the conversation. Yeah, it's probably still early with that language translation, Dion, but I mean, check back in like 3 months. When they probably update it, it'll probably be much, much better. I mean, literally like 3 months in this AI space is a long time, y'all. What they call it, the half-life of technology, it's just getting shorter and shorter with it. And that's because as it continues to grow, it's learning more, right? The learning language model is growing, and it's getting smarter as it moves along. All right, a couple of days early. I love that. How is AI coming for Black folks? Karen, can you unmute and maybe elaborate on the question? Yeah, TV watches you, phones recording you, taking notes on inflections of words. I'm mentioning the phrases. If there's a real threat, okay, got that. Hypothetical. Might have missed that.
Hello.
Hello.
I think I'm going on your heading title on
Okay.
YouTube.
Oh, you came in from YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right, welcome. Is this your first time for Sunday dinner?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. Welcome. I appreciate you joining. Yeah, how is AI coming for us, right? Like, well, that's really the question that we're having here today. Is how is it coming for us, right? Like, is it going to take our jobs? Is it going to overrun society? Like, what are the fear levels
Oh,
centered
yeah, okay.
around AI, right? But we're really concentrating on solutions, right, and integrating and using it rather than being afraid of it. So that's our goal. That's my goal here today, is to get the community to not be afraid of AI, but to engage it, not only with themselves, but with their children and their grandchildren, because this is part of our future. It is here. And like we were saying earlier, you can't unring this bell, right? This bell is here and it's not going anywhere. So we want to make sure that we're engaging with it. To that aim, we have a Everyday AI Summit coming up April 22nd. And that's why I've been streaming in Miss Alicia Little, the queen of AI, to come in and educate our audience. So it's all free. You can sign up there in the comments. Oh, Dion says she's interested in going to Nigeria. Dion, can I get you to shoot an email to Ashley, Ashley at sankofaexperiences.com. Shoot her an email and then just let her know. And then I believe we've recently done a presentation on that, so she can email you the presentation for that. Or if you don't mind, just inbox me your email address and I'll have her send that to you. Thank you for that. That's good. That's good. All right. Any other thoughts that we have centered in and around AI today? I'm open for some questions. I do want to say, okay, yeah. I'm open for some questions or some thoughts. Again, I'm not the expert. I use it every single day in my personal life. I use it in my business life for sure. I just learned something. I'll show you. I'll show y'all something else I just learned. I thought this was great. Hold on, let me make sure I give Ashley this email. I'm gonna have Ashley follow up with you, Dion.
I can't do this. I got family.
Say it again. Nigeria. Oh, all right. So Sister Ashley will be following up. Can I show you a picture of my suitcase to see if it's okay with Delta? Hey, so there's a 50-pound limit, Kalanda. When you are flying internationally, there's a 50-pound limit. You could take one that's heavier. They're just going to charge you more money. So I don't know if you want to condense down to 50 pounds or do you want to split it into two? I'm not really sure. I know when it's overweight, they charge a nice hefty penny. I can't tell you exactly what that's going to be. You could probably ask ChatGPT though, to be honest with you. Word perfect. Well, word perfect better come back. How do we get more representation so that the bias is lessened? Courtney, I mean, we're gonna have to get involved, right? And I'm perplexed because I'm not in the Silicon Valley atmosphere. So I don't know if we really have the representation. And that's not that you have to be in Silicon Valley, right? I'm just talking about I'm not in that deeper level of tech to be even understand like who are the major players and how do you get into that arena. And I'm definitely not qualified, right? Like I'm more on the user end rather than the developer end. So I feel like if we're going to get more representation, then that starts with improving our math scores, right? Y'all remember Black Math Genius? Like we've been trying to like have this conversation for years now, but Black folks tend to fall out of the tech realm around third grade, third, fourth, fifth grade, because once you get behind the curve in mathematics, you're not getting introduced into geometry. You're not getting into trigonometry. You're not getting into calculus in high school, let alone calculus in the ninth grade, eighth, ninth grade, right? Which is kind of really where you want to be if you want to get into engineering, and then to start getting into software engineering and coding and deep language models and all of this is all predicated on deeper levels of understanding in mathematics. But if you go back and look at our math scores as a community, I'm just going to be honest with you, they're atrocious. And I don't know what we are. I don't know what we're focusing on, but it doesn't seem to be collectively mathematics. I don't think you're going to have a problem with that suitcase, by the way. Again, unless it's over $50, 50 pounds, right? And then it's just going to charge you more. But I don't think the shape is that's probably not a carry-on shape. So where does that product us with our current status? We become worker bees. Courtney, can you restate that, or where does that put us? Maybe what does that put us with our
what I'm
current
trying to
status?
say is since we don't like me and math are old enemies, right? So what if that's the current state and it's moving so fast as you say, how do we get that kind of input? Because we have some really brilliant minds, and I'm sure they're aware, but how do we increase that impact so that we don't get left behind on the whole? Because we do focus on boots on the ground and all that kind of stuff that helps us relieve the stresses of what we go through every day. People think it's just dancing, but of course, they realize that the endorphins and everything that helps you to deal with the microaggressions and everything that you deal with in life. So there's a reason for the dancing. But how do we get the people? Because the people that aren't on here are the ones we need to be getting. Yeah. So how do we do that more? That's what I'm always struggling with. How do we get the sisters and brothers who be like, girl, I got time for all that, all that black stuff. And
Yeah, man, I'm just gonna be honest with you. I think we in trouble, right? Like, I think we in trouble. I'm as much as I want to be an optimist, man, it's like we really are missing the mark. And because like, how do you get involved? Well, either you got to be in a room or you got to build your own room, right? And we have people with, I believe, with the intelligence to not only build your own room, but build their own platform and all of these things. I just wonder where the money gonna come. Like, if we don't support each other, because like imagine somebody in Atlanta, I don't know, wherever, came up with a whole new learning language model and an idea, right? And it was like this genius individual inventor, this young black girl, this young black woman, 18 years old, 36 years old, whatever, you put a name, you put a number on her, and she develops this thing. Where's the financing gonna come from? And then he or she who finances controls. So it's like, even if you come up with it, like where is the money structure that's going to support it, right? So that she can remain at the helm, so that she can not only be seen, but then she can start to hire brothers and sisters that look like her. So that's where my concern really settles in.
Yes.
And it's like, even when that's small, because that's big, that's going to require billions of dollars. But even when it requires thousands, we don't support that either.
Right.
And again, that's not all of us, right? So I don't want to, be like that. But like, collectively, that ain't really how we moving. So I think it really does get back to what the hell is going on with our community. Like, what is our socialization? Like, how are we what are our social norms, right? Like, I wonder about that. But that's African Americans. When it comes to that same thing, like, I honestly, my immediate thought was, you better go to Africa. Like, you better go to Africa. You better get involved in the tech field over there, because I tell you what's happening in Nigeria. Nigeria, they leaning heavy into tech. And they got Nigerian oil. They got good money over there, right? Where they can support one another. And not every ethnicity ain't necessarily on each other's team, but they proud Nigerians, and they got a chance. Same in Kenya. They got an emerging tech field. Down in Rwanda has an emerging tech field, right? Like, so it's happening on the continent. I wonder, with all this creative genius and innovation that we have here, like, what's going to ever be the galvanizing force that's going to bring us together to make us realize we better work together, right? And we think about, every time I think about the unemployment rate in the community, the unemployment rate is tied to the fact that we don't have no Fortune 500, no Fortune 1000 businesses. We just don't got no big businesses because people hire people that look like them. That's just the damn facts. I understand we're upset over DEI and, the hiring practices. And I'm saying we got to fight on all the fronts. But if we're not going to fight to bring up this black mom and pop shop to turn into a Walmart, because that's all Walmart was. They started as a 5 and dime store, but it built up over decades, but ain't nobody gonna go out tomorrow and build Walmart. You gotta survive and build something over decades that become Walmart, that becomes Target. We all mad at Target. Build your own damn Target, but you got to start today with a mom and pop shop, and start supporting those entrepreneurs that can start springing up and opening other stores and serving people inside of the community and hiring from the community and all of those things. But I don't know. Do we lack vision? Do we lack patience? Do we lack unity? I don't know. I don't really have the answers. I got a lot of the questions. I mentioned I like to ask questions, but I don't really have the answers. I don't know. I am concerned. Um, I got 1 foot out of the country. I don't know what the hell is going to happen here. This social order the social order is wild. The political environment is crazy. The racial tension is sickening. Like when I was in Ethiopia, every time I'm in Africa, I'm so damn relaxed, right? Like it's just different. And like on the way back, I flew into Canada. And Canada was interesting, but Canada got a different vibe than the United States. I'm not saying that no racial tension exists in Canada. It's just kind of different. But man, soon as I landed in the States, you just feel that tension.
Yeah.
And man, it's we live in under so much stress in this country. I don't think we even realize. And you don't really get it till you get the hell out of the country. Particularly for me, when I go to an African nation and everybody look like me, that's just one less thing I got to think about. Now I still got to be smart, and I ain't trusting everybody and all of that stuff. But I don't know, man. That racial tension, that shit will kill you. Stress will kill you. So I'm looking for peace. And I know people say, you can't run from this. You can't. Well, I can avoid it. Shit. I ain't got to stand in the middle of the fight, right? And I always say that when in a war, them days of lining up across from one another and just fighting it out to the end, that shit over with, right? So war is about different tactics. Sometimes you retreat, sometimes you move to take the highland, sometimes you stand and fight. There are things that you do, right? And I don't know, man. I don't know about the condition of our community. I got more questions than I have certainties. Yeah, we don't trust each other, right? We don't. But we haven't, right? I was listening to something the other day, and David Banner, and he was talking about, I think he was on the Breakfast Club or something, and he was talking about the young folks in the community calling him an OG. What's up, OG? And he said, don't call me that. He said, don't call me that. And I was wondering where he was going with that. He's like, he said, our community don't take care of the elders. Our community don't take care of people they say they love. He said, if you did, why would Malcolm's family be on the outside looking in? Why would Dr. King's family be struggling, right? Like, why would Rosa Parks die in the conditions that she did? Like, the people that put their lives on the line for us, like, we didn't really take care of them, right? And that sets a precedent, because who the hell wants to stand up and fight and die and knowing that you ain't going to take care of them or their descendants? Everybody just busily stuffing their pockets, expecting somebody else to step up and do and say something. So he was like, don't call me that. Y'all don't respect those individuals. I don't want you to see me as that, right? Like, don't put me out front. I don't want to be out front like that if that's going to be the case. And, unfortunately, that's just stuff you got to think about. And I don't know, man. That's why I always be like, I'm wondering, what the hell are we doing? Like, what are we really doing? And I've been wanting to have this conversation, so it don't really fit, but I'm just going to do it anyway. But while I was in Ethiopia, we had a lot of conversation around the difference between the rural setting and then the big city, right? So, because during the Sankofa experiences, right, we go get it all. You got, we're in Addis Ababa, there's 4 million people. It's got its own vibe, got its food, got its culture. But then we went to Lalibela, right? And then we went to, I forget the other places, but Lalibela is where those rock churches are, right? So you're out in the mountains, and you're just seeing how the poorer community lives, right? The folks that got more money, I should word that differently. We see the people who don't have a lot of financial money out in the rural areas, right? when you think like, oh, the mud huts and they got this, and they're farming with old equipment, attached to the oxen and whatnot, versus the folks in Addis Ababa with high-rise buildings and cars and trains and transportations and luxury and all of this stuff, right? And one of the questions was like, who lives longer? And there was, it was a conversation with the guides and the local people, but generally the folks in the rural areas live longer than folks in the city. And then, it just started sparking a conversation amongst us about the stresses in our lives. I mentioned that stress will kill you. And like a lot of the people were talking about living in like the DC area and talking about having a 4-hour commute to work, to and from work, 2 hours both ways, or somebody got an hour and a half. And I only got an hour, but if you 10 minutes late, it's going to be an hour 45, right? If you don't get out at a certain time. And you're just thinking about the hustle and the bustle of the big city life. And I adjusted my conversation when I said the poorer people versus backing up off of that and saying, oh, the people without a lot of financial money. Because like our society, particularly in the United States, have got us convinced that if you ain't got a bunch of shit, that your life ain't worth a damn. If I don't wear red bottoms every day, if I don't drive this particular car, I don't wear designer underwear and socks, somehow my life sucks. Somehow I'm doing it wrong. Where the people in the rural areas, they wake up and eat from the ground. They work, they till the fields, the men doing this, the women are cooking and tending to the chicken, or whatever the social order is. They got stuff to do. But the food grows out of the ground, the water falls from the sky. They sing, they dance, they got social interaction, they got stores, they trade with one another, they laugh, they giggle, they tell jokes, they raise children, they drink some of the finest coffee in the world. In fact, coffee comes from Ethiopia, it comes from them people. We saw how they make it, they do it every day, they drink it several times a day, all of this stuff. Who's really rich? Does your life don't mean shit if you don't compile, if you don't build up a whole lot of money? Is your life not, is it just pointless? Because that was my question. Do the people in the rural areas, do they fight tooth and nail to try to get to the big city? And they were saying that some of the people come, some of the people stay, some of the people go back. Some of the people in the big city decide to go and live a simpler life. And like, it was that simpler life comment that really made it click. Because you'll start to see people who, quote unquote, get to the top of the financial ladder and then move off in the country and like abandoning all of that life for in search of something simpler, right? You hear that conversation a lot. So it's like, who's really rich and who's really poor? You got more stuff, but you have no time. You're stressed all day. You got crazy traffic, people showing up at high schools and elementary schools shooting at children. Road rage. I saw something today. This woman out here by me in the south suburbs of Chicago, this woman is like taking a picture and posted this other woman. She's standing at a light and she wouldn't make the right turn. This woman behind her is like going crazy trying to make her make a right turn. But of course, there's a no turn on red. She doesn't do it. The woman comes by, drives next to her when they finally turn, flashes her weapon at her. Her and her child said her son's in the car, was in the car and was still crying like hours later because she's pointing a weapon at them because she wouldn't turn right. Like, what are we doing? I think like we at some point we got to start asking ourselves that. And that was an American question. Like, what the hell is the country doing? And then I still got to, ask that same question to us. Like, what are we really doing? What is really important? I know black folks run around, they talk about Jesus and love and God and all of these things, but you still wearing them damn red bottoms, Ralph Lauren, polo, $400 pants, $1,000 fucking bags, and all of this shit. Like, what's really important? I'm questions. I don't know. I'm not into fashion. Y'all will never see that. That ain't me. I don't know. I don't know nothing. I don't know, you can't stun on me because I'm ignorant to all of that. And I like it that way, right? I like a simpler existence, right? But I like some luxury travel. Hey, whatever. We all got our thing. Hey, brother David, come on, join the conversation. I done jumped all. I got a little fired up there. Went around the world on you.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Can you hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, peace to everyone. Yeah, I just been really listening. I had chimed in first on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I believe you saw me, and then came over here. But um, you're speaking on just like something that's been discussed even today in service today. Student Minister Jeffrey Muhammad was talking about his title, his subject was um, how God hates the ungrateful. And I mentioned this last week because you brought up those very points that the people are grateful that the water falls from the sky and food comes out the ground, and you're really describing like a paradise, really, when people are just happy, and you have your things that you have to do to make life make sense, but no one is burdened with this pursuit of what's called frail goods of this world. And that's how it's put in scriptures. People pursuing these frail goods of this world, and God asks, "Have you no sense? Why are you pursuing this world's ways instead of the ways of the hereafter?" It's not really called heaven; it's called hereafter, which represents the world that will be here after the world of lies and murder passes away. And to get to that world, there's going to be a mass falling away, and that has to do with people being self-centered, ungrateful. And it was talking about how social media has made people into narcissists, especially in the Western world. In particular, you see there are some controls being put on children's use of social media in other parts of the world, but
Yes.
it's wide open over here, and that's because we have runaway capitalism over here. Because anything that makes money is good. It's all good as long as it makes money, but it's destroying people's moral character. Is what we value. Um, is changed all of those things, and so what you were describing is a symptom of that very thing. We're very self-centered, narcissistic, ungrateful civilization. And again, the saying that if white folks have a cold, we have pneumonia. So if this is the world that even a dominant, so-called dominant society is suffering from, then it's 10 times worse for us. And that kind of lends to your point of this whole discussion, which is why are we always left behind on these technological advances? We're just so disunited and disjointed that we're generally not in a position to take advantage of these things. I think that's changing because with what you're doing, the question that you posed last week actually was brought up on Tariq Nasheed's show, and I don't know if you got it from him or did someone take it and bring it over there and ask him the very same question about black excellence versus black empowerment. They asked the
Really?
very same question, and and you know we've gotten so close to white folk that we believe we're post-racial, but it's damaged our community. And you have more and more people noticing this and asking these questions. So, just as I talk about this falling away that you're seeing and this self-centered, narcissistic society that we're in, I'm also noticing that people are also noticing, and that's why these narratives are being challenged. Even you, I'm the one who inbox you and say, "Hey, Freddie, you empower women more than anyone I know, and yet you got attacked and told to shut up."
Right.
But the fact that you know even that's being noticed, that there's something going on here. This is not normal. This is something there, and I believe, one, it is social engineering. It's a lot of factors, but when it comes to our community and politics, they divide in order to conquer and control us. But again, more and more people are waking up to that, those tactics. They looking at this reality. They saying, hey, we're freer than any time in history. Why are we not making strides? And those questions are leading to answers. And I believe that people are waking up. But yeah, that's what I wanted to add to the discussion. Yeah, something's going on, but there's also a waking up too. So I'll end there.
Yeah, I always appreciate the insights, brother. I mean, you know me, brother. I'm generally an optimist, right? I am optimistic about our future. Um, but I'm also a realist, right? Like, man, we gonna have to do something. And I would have thought that, I would have thought by now Trump done enough to make us see that, hey, we better start working together. And maybe that's happening more so than I think, right? I was yeah, I'll leave it there. I was about to take a left turn. We don't want to take no left turn.
Don't take that left. Go on, take that. What you got?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just I would have definitely thought that by now we would have seen. I don't know. I don't feel it. I don't feel like the urgency. And again, maybe it's because I'm in my internet tower and I'm not like in the day-to-day of everyday life. That sounds weird, man, but y'all just don't know. I'm like, I mean, I work from home. I'm across the hallway from my bed, right? Like, I go downstairs, get in the kitchen, I go for a run around the neighborhood. I might go to my local pub and have a beer or something, but like that'll be about it. Um, so I definitely want to I want to get out and do more. That's okay. All right. So Sunday dinners, y'all got to hold me to get out and doing more. And I don't mean like going party or any of that, but like I need to go volunteer my time and energy and talent somewhere in the community. And that'll give me a better insight on how people are moving. So, hey, there's a challenge for everybody. Now, you got to watch yourself saying stuff because the internet be remembering. So I put my foot in my mouth, but I think it's a good way to do that, right? Getting out here and using my resources for good in the community. So I want to hold myself to that. Um, yes, miseducation runs deep programming. I'm trying to avoid going where I was going, David. And so I took a step back there. I took a step back and challenged myself, right? But it
Yeah,
can be
that's good for you, because that's that's progress for you.
that's right. That's progress, brother. I normally fly off the handle. Know your vision is clear. Okay. Some of us still don't think, yeah, sticks. Okay. We should organize an urban intellectual volunteer event. Oh, Patricia, I like that. Yeah, volunteer event. Yeah, I pull y'all out with me, right? All right. Yeah, I like that though. Maybe, yeah. Maybe we'll initiate something like where we go down to the local schools, and they don't got to be like my school. Everybody can go to their local schools, right? And grab a friend or two and go do something down there. Or maybe we go to homeless shelters, or maybe we go to the adult centers. I don't know what to call it. I was gonna call it adult daycare. Senior homes. There we go. Maybe we go to the senior homes, right, and engage in our community. Maybe, yeah, we go donate to the food pantry, right? I love that. I love that, Patricia. I like that a lot. Let me make that known. I love that. Yeah, that's something simple that we can do, and you get an opportunity to go engage with some people. Maybe use AI to find out where to find out where your target audience could be. Then hit them up by dropping dollars. I love that. Courtney, we use a lot of AI to do just that, honestly. We're using AI to run some of our advertisements, right? So y'all have probably like, oh man, let me show you this, right? So okay. That you brought me back to the AI conversation. All right. David was trying to get me off. He was about to push me down in a different direction. I like it though. Yeah, let me show y'all this. So here is, oh, did I? Oh, I did it this way. Oh, let's see. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I was so tired of my kids coming home knowing.
So this is, yeah, I'm telling y'all, man, AI is wild.
I was so tired of my kids coming home knowing only MLK and Rosa Parks. Don't get me wrong, they're legends, but our history is so much deeper. These Black History flashcards, game changed. They cover everything. Scientists, artists, activists I never even learned about in school. My 8-year-old now drops facts about Black inventors at dinner like it's nothing. Last week, she told her teacher about Garrett Morgan inventing the traffic light. I've caught my husband studying them after the kids go to bed. We quiz each other while cooking dinner. It's not just education, it's reclaiming our story and showing our kids that excellence is in our DNA. These aren't just flashcards, they're our heritage in your hands.
So that is an AI advertisement that was put together for us, right? I've seen your ads. I like them whenever I see them. They're awesome. Oh, I love it. All right. Again, we got a $19 deal going on our flashcards. So I dropped that link. But yeah, that ad is pulled together by AI. We're testing this. We're about a week, maybe a week and a half into using this particular platform. I forget the name of it, Icon, something like that. I ain't on that tech team, y'all. I ain't on that tech team, right? But that's what my COO let me know, and how it's working and all of that. So I don't know if you see some of these ads, we are definitely testing the AI waters to see how it works and how people respond to it. And the best thing about it is, yeah, all right, y'all were mentioning Dawson, Word Perfect, and all of that. So you remember the advertisement, "Where's the beef?" Right? Where's the beef? Right? Well, whose commercial was that? Who is that? You
Was
remember?
it Wendy's? Where's the beef? The little
Yeah,
white lady.
where's the beef? Right? Yeah. That was an epic commercial, right? I believe it was like a 10+ year run. Most advertisement, particularly in the social media internet world, don't last that long. So we'll have a really good ad that's profitable for the company, and then boom, it'll fall off a cliff. So the challenge that we've been having over the years is we don't got like an in-house video team and videographer and all of that stuff, right? So getting fresh new content created and that's up to date has always been a challenge. So now we're able to use this AI stuff to kind of assist us in the development of this stuff. So it's been really, really dope. And a really, really good addition to the company. But guess what the problem is? They don't got a lot of Black people. Right? So it's like, man, I be telling y'all, like, well, there's a couple of things. If I really wanted to make money, y'all know I open up a church. That's what I say. Hey, don't be mad at me for telling you the truth, right? Two, I start selling stuff to white folks, right? Because there's more of them in this country that's buying stuff, right? If this mission didn't mean something special to me, if it was just about the money, but it's not just about the money with me. I will take it, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I ain't trying to put myself on the outside of it or any of that. But it's important. It's an important mission, right? But like the challenge, even with AI, is again that representation piece. Like, where are we in all of this? In fact, hey, if you want to help us, click that link and leave us a video testimonial. You can leave us a testimonial about anything, right? You can talk about Sunday dinner. Why do you love, why do you keep coming back, right? Is grandma twisting y'all? Is she threatening y'all with a switch? What is it? Is it the sweet potato pie? It's probably the sweet potato pie, right? I would hope that it's the conversation, right? And the exposure to these things that we bring to you. But say that in a video testimonial, right? You can click that link and do that. If you have our flashcards, if you've been on a trip to Africa with us or beyond, if you're in one of our membership programs, please let us know. If you appreciate our customer service, right? You can say that as well. But all of those things are important because it gives us more content to put in front of our audience, right? Me telling you that I love our products and what we do is one thing. You saying it is something different, right? And y'all know when it's fake, right? Or anything like that. So your assistance is definitely appreciated and needed. I'm trying to think anything else I got to close out with. Before I give like my final thoughts, and y'all notice we early today. It's my buddy's birthday. So I'm gonna go outside, and to see him or whatnot, but and hang out for a moment. So I definitely want to make that. I got to do a better job of getting my notes together. There we go. All right, so Tuesday, I want to invite y'all out Tuesday. If you haven't been to one of our legacy discussions, we got an ultimate legacy building program that we developed around our membership, and it's an opportunity to get the best of urban intellectuals and everything that we do. I explain everything on Tuesday. You click the link, you can see a little bit more. But go ahead and sign up. It's free. I believe it's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We'll be about an hour and a half. You think we can build our own now without white people burning it down? DEI is a game changer for Black America. Oh, Frida's trying to add a hour to this discussion. I see what you're doing there, sister. I love it too. What's this question? Hold on, I'll come back to that in just a second. From an old Jewish white man who has known blind hatred and discrimination all my life and generational trauma, I have way too many stories to tell. I am honored and blessed to be sitting with you today. I love the thought and education, in education and our children. Starting with Black children. I love it. All right, Mark, much love. Appreciate you being here today. I'm glad to hear you enjoying the conversation. Yeah, I mean, blind hatred and generational trauma, boy, all that, you actually got my goosebumps going because that's exactly how we feel. Yeah, that's exactly how we feel. Yeah, definitely can relate to that. But you think we can build our own now without white people burning it down? It's crazy. DEI is a game changer for the Black America. DEI is important. I think it is, but yeah, that's the question. And like, I posted, let me share one more thing over here. I posted on my Facebook page. I'm trying to think what I want to promote. I'd rather send y'all here. I don't know if y'all know, but we got our own social network. So I'd rather send you over there. I was going to show you on my personal, but yeah, come and join us over here, right? So you can sign up for Sankofa Universe. This is our social network. It's free. It worked like school, if y'all familiar. No, we got an app. I haven't connected it yet. But we're still just working. We're tweaking. There's only like 230 people over here, but you can join over there and see it. But I made this post. Make sure I got my semi-topic controlled. Building our own, right? Oh, I don't know if I posted it over here. But I've been doing these posts, right? So how Black people secretly funded the civil rights movement and why it's still important. 10 ways, it's 10 ways, right? So then it's not working this way correctly. Let me show you over here. Or do I do it this way? Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, so you will like see, I don't know, I know y'all have seen these before, right? So 10 ways Black people secretly funded the civil rights movement. And then like there's in the comments, there's a way, right? So one, two. So I've been posting these listicles. That's what I've been calling them, right? And building up. And I do this on my personal pages as well. I'm building like my personal brand, right? On Facebook, right? But what I was getting at is in the comments of one of these, I posted basically like a bunch of Black Wall Streets, right? Because Black Wall Street isn't the only thriving Black economic area. I did one about that, and then basically the white community burned them down, right? So that's what happened with Black Wall Street. That's what happened with um, um, well, burned it down or destroyed it, right? In some way or another, right? They talk about Lake Lanier outside of Atlanta, Georgia. You talk about what happened in Florida? Where we at? Now I'm like drawing a blank on all the places. Black Bottom in Detroit. You got Bronzeville in Chicago, right? You got these places all around the country. The same thing happened. It was either physical violence, political violence, or economic violence, right? That transpired, and it's continuously happening. But anyway, I posted about this and was just talking about how, hey, we need to get on our P's and Q's and come back and continue to build these Black Wall Streets or build these infrastructures that we can fund our stuff. And then the conversation immediately turns to, yeah, but you're gonna have to be able to defend it. And it's almost like well, damn, can't we agree to build the shit again? Like, damn, like why we just gotta automatically jump to it's gonna be burned down if you actually built it, right? Like Atlanta is built up. It's a predominantly Black sprawling area with a lot of people doing well. Is it burned down? Like, no, it's not. Like, right? Why can't we continue to build on it before something happens? Anyway, I see a hand up. So who is that joining the conversation? I see urban intellectuals. Which one of y'all is that?
It's me. It's Gwen.
Hey, Gwen, how you doing?
Hi. I just wanted to agree with you and say that we need to stop making that our excuse. It's an excuse because we're studying about in our Sankofa Club class, we're studying about Mary McLeod Bethune. Now, we haven't gotten to this point, but when her school was burnt down, she built it again. And when Black Wall Street was burnt down, it was built again. And then Durham, North Carolina was also a thriving Black, sprawling, thriving Black community that had banks and insurance companies and what have you, and it wasn't harmed. So there were other places that were not destroyed. Yes, there were a lot, and we can go down the list, but why would that stop us from doing it now? And now you have, I don't know who these people are. I don't know if they're the Israelites. They're marching in purple, bluish purple outfits. You got Brother David and the Nation of Islam. You got enough men out here. The people who were in Lincoln Heights, Ohio, near Cincinnati, they protected their community. So this is a whole new group of quote unquote Negroes out here, as they called it, the new Negro, the new African people, people of African descent out here. We're not standing by and taking stuff. We're not marching. I'm a proponent of not marching because this mess they made, they need to clean it up. But as far as building, let's stop using that excuse or that fear. We should march with no fear. We should build with no fear and just know that we're going to protect by any means necessary. That's what we need to move to, by any means necessary, whatever that entails. But don't not do it because what they did in the past, they're going to meet they're going to meet us in a whole different way this time around. So I want to say that, and we are being effective with Target. We're being effective with Black businesses on Wednesday. We are doing some great work. We're just doing it silently. A lot of times I laugh because there's a dance, a line dance called Where's My Fan At? And you see people, hundreds of Black people dancing and throwing their fans and everything. And other people are saying, what are they doing dancing and throwing fans? Because we're pulling on our joy, and we're just kind of giving the impression that everything is all right, but we're still building behind the scenes. So you don't have to know everything that we're doing, but let's not let anything stop us from building and using our dollars, because that's where it is, using our trillions of dollars that we just give in a minute to other entities. Let us build our Wall Streets all over this country and world, because there's a world movement. It's just not here in America. Burkina Faso is I pray that this man stays safe. But am I saying that right? Burkina Faso, the president there, he's creating cars and businesses and all kinds of things to do a whole new African thing. So it's not just here; it's all over the world, and in Africa and in other places. So there is a, I feel, a spiritual movement of people of color, but African people, but everybody's African, but anyway, African people um, moving towards the where we should be. And you might hear it in this place or that place. So let us, we need to know the past so we can navigate, but we're going to build by any means necessary. That's all I have to say.
I love it. I love it. We got the revolutionary came through. I definitely appreciate you, sister. Mary, I saw your hand. Did you take it back down?
Yeah, I took it back down, but I'll again, we uh we are a unique people. I think that we are the only people on, I think that we as a people have more gifts inside of us than we realize what we have. And so when you've been crushed in spirit, after generation after generation after generation, it really does something to you. And so I think that this is just my opinion. I think that we have been programmed for so long that, and then they've turned us against each other, the dark skin against the lighter skin, and they told us we're ugly because of our hair, and so then we gravitate towards the red bottom shoes. We start covering up the self-hate that they put inside of us with stuff, because we think that the more stuff we have, and it does, if you see people with red bottom shoes on, they tend to get more wow than somebody who doesn't, which a lot of people have more money in their pocket than most people can count, have on the Target clothes, which I don't shop at Target. I take that back.
Yeah.
So, but I think that we're going to have to deprogram. And with this generation, it's going to take some time, and it's going to take a lot of work to deprogram this generation. And it can be done, it's going to be done, but I think it's going to take time to get them away from the basketball money and the football money, and to get them into math and literacy and education. So, and then the more we try to pull and gather up our village, the more the white folks turn up the the volume on their program, because like I said again, here with the Learns Act, she passed that, our governor Sarah Huckabee passed that bill overnight, that and these school vouchers. So now all these wealthy white people are taking my tax dollars, sending their kids to private schools, which they say is open up for all public school children. You can apply for a voucher and go to a private school, but we know what plan that is. There are not going to be that many black children in these private schools. They may let them in, but they're going to kick them out. And so the public schools, guess what? That's going to leave a lot of empty seats. Teachers are going to lose their jobs because there won't be that many students in that particular, in these schools. So I think we're going to have to take care of our own, teach our own, and stop depending on the white folks to come and save us, because they're not going to come and save us. Their thing is to kill us. And back to my other point, and then I'm gonna get off. We are programmed to not trust each other. The young guy here who opened up a barber college, and there's a documentary out on him, from barber to banker. And he opened up a barber college, and then he opened up a credit union. It's a black credit union. It's called People Trust Community Federal Credit Union. So I went and joined. So I was trying to talk to, people that I know. They asked me 1,000 questions because they say, now this is my money. And I'm like, you think I would go put my money? And, this guy came from the neighborhood. He's my son's age. And I said, you think I would go and put my money and then come and tell you to take your money somewhere that I don't trust? That doesn't make any sense. And when you went to your bank, did you ask them 1,001 questions like you asking me? Well, no, but that's Regions Bank. And I'm like, okay, we don't trust each other. So I just think that we're gonna have to learn to trust. Well, and where them fans at, that line dance and all that's going on, that is huge. And so I just happened to stroll up on this young lady who makes fans, and she does a hell of a job. She's black on. And so I started sharing it. I shared it with some friends of mine. My friend told me, she said, well, I don't know her. I'm gonna go ahead and order from Amazon. I was like, well, okay. The girl, go, do AI and go check the girl out. You read her, people who bought fans from her. Go and research, do some research. You don't know Amazon. You do. He don't give a dang about you. So go on. So that's, anyway, we got a lot of work to do. I thank you, Freddie, for this Sunday dinner, because it gives us a space and a place to come and kind of release, take a deep breath, and you be amongst family where you can just really say what you want to say. Because on one of these jobs I work on, I can't go in there amongst them people, Trump supporters, and really say what I want to go. I go in there with a smile. I go in with a smile and I leave with a smile, because you're not going to steal my joy.
I hear that.
Anyway, that's all I'm saying.
I appreciate
Thank you,
Mary. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, all right. We had a good discussion today, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Like I said, I gotta get out of here a little bit early. Y'all know we sometimes go 4-5 hours around here, right? Right. So if y'all new around here, we sparing you, right? Like, we're sparing you. Grandma gonna let y'all out a little bit early. She said she got some things to do, and um, she said you ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. But no, I hope y'all enjoyed the discussion today. Again, we do this every single Sunday. Even when I travel, I try to make sure that I'm here. Sister Gwen stepped in for me a couple of weeks ago when I was in Ethiopia. So thanks again for that, Gwen. But I want to try to make sure that we keep this going, right? I know that it's needed in the community. And there's some great discussions, and hopefully, like, you learned something, right? Hopefully I can share a couple of things to you. I promise my goal around here is to be better next week than we was this week. So I continue to try to elevate the information that we give. I'm flirting with bringing some guests to this particular venue. If you are in our legacy program, buckle up and get ready for Wednesday. Brother Joel is coming to talk stocks and stock market investing. And he has I feel like this is the method that the community needs. He has a simple way to understand the stock market, and he's going to share that with us. I invest with this brother's program. I'm doing all right. I ain't the best because I don't be paying enough attention. I don't move fast enough sometimes, and I'm afraid of some things, y'all. Listen, I got a little bit of bucks. I want to save my bucks, so but I watched that market crash. Well, quick thing though, knowing what to do in the stock market means you make money when they go up, you make money when they go down, and you make money when it goes sideways. And as crazy as that sounds, I watch these people do it. I just be nervous. Now I got it. Now I'll be nervous. Like when Thursday, Friday hit, a friend of mine did $22,000 in profit on Friday because he knows how to make money when the stock market goes down. Um, I didn't. I didn't make no money like that. I bought some stocks, but I did not make no money like that. Can you add the link for the legacy program? Yes, I can. Let me see here. Yeah, this is Legacy. Come out Tuesday. I'll be talking about it in detail. So that's an invite to our Tuesday for the Legacy program. Patricia, if you just want like the purchase link, then you can go directly. Just email Tamiko. She'll have all of that for you. Yes, but stocks buy the dips. Yeah, that's basically what I'll be on, buying the dips. But like his program is going to show us like when the dips happen. So I've been doing very well in my portfolio. Of course, the whole portfolio is down based on what has been going around. But if you listen, if you're trading and you were trading in that moment, it was a thing. If you got a 5, 10, 15-year outlook, this was a purchase opportunity. And really, we're going to talk about why and all of that good stuff. So kind of like AI, right? Like don't be afraid. Putting your head in the sand is not going to help you in the market. Having a thorough understanding of what is happening is going to do that. So we're bringing this conversation directly to our legacy members. So that's going to go inside of our legacy program in the back end. But we're going to get down and dirty with that one. I got some more discussions and some interviews like I did with Sister Alicia that are coming to our YouTube channel. So if you're not following us on YouTube, let me beg you, please click the link or search Urban Intellectuals over there and follow us on YouTube. I would definitely appreciate a follow there, but I'm bringing a lot of great information to you. If you can't make it to Sunday dinner, I'm always streaming it live over there. What else did I ask y'all? Our Sankofa Universe, please join us over there. I got that going on. All right, I think I'm pretty good. We got the AI Summit, right? One more time for that. If you are interested, hopefully everybody here has signed up. YouTube, I am neglecting posting over there for y'all, but I think it's up. I think it's over there. Where's the link for the Sankofa classes? Ms. Porter, 1 second. Here's that link. This is our legacy bundle discussion. Sankofa, there we go. Bam. All right, got that. Oh, they never let me do. Okay. I'll get that sorted in just a second. Register here. That's what you need. But yeah, this has been a good discussion today, right? Hopefully everybody enjoyed it. Hopefully my first timers, we all come back next week. And I'll definitely have some more cooking for you. By Monday or Tuesday, y'all will start getting the emails about what next week is gonna be about. I got a list of things, but I just want to see kind of how the day shakes out on Monday. I may have to change the conversation a bit. But it's obvious we need to get into our culture. It's obviously, I think our social norms are off. And I'm wondering how can we move the needle on that? Again, a lot of us are ready, willing, and able. I'm loving this idea of UI volunteer events, Ms. Patricia. So thank you for that. I enjoyed our gathering. All right. Yeah, peach cobbler all around. All right, for everybody. But thank you again for being here. Appreciate y'all YouTube hanging out with us. I appreciate y'all hanging out with us in here. Enjoy every time out. Now can take a break before Dr. Aiden's class starts. Yeah, bless it all. All right, Karen. Yeah, she's talking about our Sankofa Circle. We teach live Black history to adults inside of that, and we teach live Black history to children via our Zoom platforms as well. So it's a lot going on at Urban Intellectual. Stay tapped into what you're doing. My name is Freddie Taylor. I'm the CEO and founder of Urban Intellectuals. I am speaking on behalf of Grandma. She said, thank y'all for coming out. Appreciate the conversation. It was definitely soulful and filling for the soul. So we definitely appreciate that. Hopefully you got some things, and make sure you stay connected to us. Make sure you grab your peach cobbler on the way out. And maybe you might go get you an actual meal here in just a minute. So I appreciate all of y'all for being here. Until next time, love, peace, and power to the people. Good evening, everybody. Appreciate that, Timothy.